Chapter 11:15. P.S. Today's 5 chapters, 15,000 words. I haven't written like this in a long time. Is everyone satisfied? So strong, where did he come from? The other party's blood energy was so strong that he could send the demon god that Lin Fei had subdued flying. Lin Fei didn't fall. He knew that this guy had a strong background. He waved his right hand and a saber light slashed out. Thick, ancient saber intent filled the sky. One had strong blood energy, the other had shocking god power. They clashed head-on. After the saber light attack couldn't do anything to the other party, Lin Fei used 3 heads and 6 arms to fight the other party personally. 6 arms came out, and the battle between the two didn't stop. Boom, 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 the two of them fought back and forth, leaving the nearby fiend celestials dumbfounded. This was especially so for the demon gods that he had just subdued. This was the first time they knew that their master was so strong. If they fought head-on, they wouldn't be his match. It was a good choice to have such a master. With such strength at this age, his future would be limitless. They couldn't compare to their current master at all. The difference was just too great. The faith left behind by the restriction sped up and became compatible. Lin Fei probably didn't expect that the battle with the black-robed man would speed up the process of subduing the demon gods. This guy's usage of laws has reached a high level. His realm is higher than mine, so I can only use strength to suppress him. If I take out the divine palace throne, I should be able to injure him on the spot. Lin Fei was thinking about whether he should go all out. This person was very difficult to deal with. No wonder he could enter the 18 levels of purgatory and go all the way to the 15th without anyone noticing. If not for Lin Fei's sudden impulse, this scene wouldn't have happened. "Young man, let's stop." The black-robed man punched out and flashed away. His gaze was uncertain. The battle between the two didn't last long, and they both held back. The battle wasn't earth-shattering, but it wasn't something normal people could deal with. At least Demon God Tata and the Black Mountain Demon God would definitely die if they fought against the black-robed man. Lin Fei relied on his strength to block the other party's attack. The other party stopped, and Lin Fei did not continue attacking. In reality, he was worried that the situation in the 18 Purgatory would be known by the Sky Devil Emperor. That would be very bad. "Sir, what did you mean just now? Am I that easy to bully?" Just because Lin Fei didn't make a move didn't mean that he didn't have a temper. The black-robed man's face darkened and his eyes flickered. "This brat's strength is so strong to be able to fight evenly with me. If I go all out, I won't be afraid of alerting the Sky Devil Emperor, and I can seriously injure this brat. I have important matters to attend to and can't be delayed by this. Wait until the important matters are completed. Then I'll take care of this brat." "Young man, it was just a misunderstanding. Here are 5 billion true spirits. Take it as my compensation. We will meet again someday." The black-robed man threw out a storage ring and disappeared into the depths. Lin Fei put away the storage ring, and sure enough, there are 5 billion true spirits inside. "Master, there's definitely something strange about this fellow. He should be heading towards the depths of the purgatory." Actually, Lin Fei himself knew that the person was obviously holding back and didn't dare to use his full strength just like him. What kind of existence was locked up in the 18 Purgatory for such a person to enter personally? Lin Fei retracted his thoughts. "Come to my heaven and earth smelt. I intend to take a look personally." After knowing that the other party had some restrictions, Lin Fei had nothing to worry about. At most, he would alert the Sky Devil Emperor, and the unlucky one would be the other party. He would definitely have a chance to leave. Tata, demonic god, had received the faith power, and he didn't dare to say anything about Lin Fei's words. They kept them all. Hua, hua, hua. Lin Fei's speed was really fast. As he chased, he realized that many of the people locked up in the seals had died a long time ago, and all of them had turned into hundreds of millions of corpses. Their blood qi is gone? There wasn't a single drop of blood qi on the corpses. Someone had used something to take it away. Lin Fei chased once more. Purgatory level 16, 17, 18. A path of corpses, including protectors, was filled with extraordinary speed. The 18th level of the purgatory was pitch black, and the silence was terrifying. 5 huge iron pillars stood tall in the 18th level of the purgatory. On the iron pillars, there were existences that couldn't be seen as humanoid. That black-clothed man was also there. He was standing in front of one of the iron pillars, holding a treasure in his hand. Fresh blood flowed down and landed on the iron pillar. The withered corpse on the iron pillar was like a bottomless pit, continuously swallowing fresh blood. The treasure in the black-clothed man's hand was also bottomless, continuously releasing fresh blood. Could it be that the fresh blood in those corpses was taken away by this thing? As the fresh blood poured in, the withered corpse gave off a powerful beating sound. It was like a huge drum that was beating unceasingly. After the beating became stronger, the corpse started to grow flesh. The speed wasn't very fast, but the shape could be seen. The black-clothed man was so focused that he didn't seem to see Lin Fei behind him. He was always doing one thing. Pung, pung, pung. After the powerful beating sound, there was the sound of chains. A black-clothed man appeared on the huge iron pillar, and a murderous aura swept over. Ha ha ha, this emperor is alive again. The black-clothed man's hoarse voice reverberated in the sky of the 18th level of the purgatory. Damn, this 18th level of the purgatory is really imprisoning a powerful celestial emperor expert. Lin Fei was shocked. The other party's body started to emit an celestial emperor aura. Hua, hua, hua. The black-clothed man moved, and he moved the chains. There were hundreds of chains wrapped around his body. They were black and shiny, and there were traces of starlight, allowing the black-clothed man to escape. Starlight cold iron, damn it! The black-clothed man roared, causing the chains to clank. This is the starlight cold iron. Lin Fei's ears twitched. The other party's celestial emperor aura was spreading. As he had just recovered, the pressure wasn't big, so he heard it clearly. Lin Fei focused. The chains looked ordinary, but when the starlight flashed, he instantly understood what they were. The starlight cold iron, such a legendary item. Why would it appear here, and even be used to imprison an celestial emperor? The starlight cold iron was a special material in the starry sky. It was indestructible. Even if a celestial emperor was imprisoned, he wouldn't be able to escape. It was rumored that people used the starlight cold iron to forge immortal weapons that were indestructible. However, these only existed in the legends. But today, Lin Fei saw the starlight cold iron, such a legendary item. My lord, I have disappointed you. The black-clothed man who fought with Lin Fei previously knelt on the ground. After the black-clothed man roared, he retracted his aura. I didn't think that the Sky Devil Emperor would have such a good item. It trapped this emperor. What a miscalculation. The black-clothed man was indeed an celestial emperor. He had just advanced and was plotted against by the Sky Devil Emperor. He was imprisoned in the 18th level of the purgatory, and his body was chained by the starlight cold iron. Suddenly, a clanking sound entered his ears. Only then did the black-clothed man see that on a metal pillar not far away, there was someone looking at the starlight cold iron chain. The black-clothed man on the ground lowered his head and said, Master, I don't know where this brat came from, but his battle prowess isn't inferior to this subordinate. This subordinate was afraid that something bad would happen, so I gave up the battle and allowed this brat to catch up. Please punish me, master. Are these people all dead? Suddenly, a voice came from the silent 18th level of the purgatory. So it was Lin Fei who had spoken. So what if they're dead? So what if they're not dead? Could it be that you still want to take away the starlight cold iron? After the black-clothed man recovered, his words were filled with the might of an emperor. They're dead. Of course, I'll take them away. Lin Fei didn't even turn his head. Do you want to keep them? After this black-clothed man was imprisoned, he used a secret technique to look like he was dead, but in reality he was faking his death. Hearing the words of a minor character, he couldn't help but sneer. "You're quite daring to speak to this emperor like this." Lin Fei's gaze was still on the starlight cold iron. He was so focused that no one could imagine what could be so focused on. "Stop scaring people. You're locked up by the starlight cold iron. With your strength, you can't break it. You can only say such words to scare people. What's the point?" These words angered the black-clothed man half to death. If someone dared to say such words during normal times, he would have killed that person long ago. Why would he wait until now? Even if he was at his peak, he probably wouldn't be able to break free from the chains made of the starlight cold iron. Moreover, his strength had dropped greatly, and his cultivation had also dropped. He was now at the half-step immortal emperor level. "Brat, you dare to imitate my master." The black-clothed man on the ground stood up angrily and sent a palm down. Lin Fei dodged to the side, and his power landed on the starlight cold iron. Starlight filled the sky. The starry sky and the universe were all there. "If you have the ability, try again. Do you believe that I won't kill you here? So what if you're an immortal emperor? You're locked up and you're alone." Lin Fei was bold and skilled. He really didn't need to worry about a trash immortal emperor. The black-clothed man was still a little fearful. The black-clothed immortal emperor's voice rang in his ears. "Back down!" But the black-clothed man was unwilling to give up. "Young man, I didn't expect to see such an outstanding talent like you in the myriad worlds. You're from the divine dragon world, right? To be able to condense a throne of the celestial court at such a young age. Impressive, truly impressive." The black-clothed immortal emperor's eyes were like torches. Lin Fei was secretly shocked. He had cultivated a throne of the celestial court. He didn't expect that the black-clothed immortal emperor could see through him with a glance. "You flatter me." Lin Fei thought again. The black-clothed man was an immortal emperor, so it wasn't strange that he could see through him. He continued to study the starlight cold iron. This was what he valued most, a special material that even an immortal emperor couldn't destroy. If it was refined into a flying dagger, it should be very useful to plot against people. Lin Fei was a little excited just thinking about it. Using a flying dagger to plot against an expert was too satisfying. Who would care about a flying dagger? By the time they reacted, it would be too late. Even an immortal emperor can't break this starlight cold iron. I wonder if my divine fire can melt it? Lin Fei wasn't confident that he could break it, but he was confident in his divine fire. Whoosh! A ball of divine fire appeared on Lin Fei's palm, jumping up and down. This is Chapter 1116. Once the flames appeared, divinity filled the air. The starlight cold iron chain was covered in divine flames. The starlight universe appeared and turned into a layer of light, trying to block the invasion of the divine flames. The divine flames swept over like ferocious beasts, tearing apart the defense of the starlight cold iron. Patter, the sturdy starlight cold iron chain broke. The black-robed celestial emperor was dumbstruck. If he hadn't read some books back then, he probably wouldn't have recognized the origin of this flame. Divine flames, there are divine flames in the lower domain. How can he have something as heaven-defying as divine flames? Didn't the rumors say that divine flames aren't something a mortal body can withstand? How can it appear on a celestial king? What they didn't know was that Lin Fei cultivated a technique that belonged to a true god. He didn't use his body to create fire. As expected, it works. Lin Fei ignored the black-robed celestial emperor's shock. Divine flames can melt the starlight cold iron chain. This is a good thing. The more the better. I can't waste it. The starlight cold iron chain was unbreakable. Celestial emperor's great techniques couldn't break through its defense. Lin Fei was prepared to take all the starlight cold iron chain. He wouldn't leave it for others. The black-robed celestial emperor was shocked. After a long time, he sighed. The world changed so quickly, especially when he saw the other take down the starlight cold iron chain. If he hadn't seen it with his own eyes, the black-robed celestial emperor wouldn't have believed that a celestial king could move the starlight cold iron chain. Master, do you want me to capture him and undo the chain? The black-robed servant asked. There's no need. You are no match for him with just this divine flame alone. He cultivates several emperor-grade arts in his body, some of which contain ancient auras. They must have been left behind by a great immortal emperor. The black-robed celestial emperor shook his head and thought, Celestial devil emperor, you probably didn't expect that the 18 levels of purgatory and the starlight cold iron that you spent so much effort to get would be broken by a young man. Lin Fei was focused. At the same time, he released the demon god to guard the black-robed servant. The starlight cold iron chain on the 5 giant iron pillars landed in his hands. The starlight cold chains were very heavy, almost as heavy as 1,000 caddies. Fortunately, Lin Fei was very strong. He collected all of them into the heaven and earth furnace and activated the divine flame to slowly refine them. Half a day later, the starlight cold iron chains on the 4 iron pillars were all taken away. If this news were to spread out, the entire universe would be shaken. Someone could take away the starlight cold iron chain. Young man, if you help me open the starlight frigid chains, this emperor will owe you a favor. The black-clad immortal emperor, who had been resting, opened his eyes. His strength had recovered significantly, and his words were filled with emperor's might. Lin Fei blinked. An immortal emperor's favor? He had to admit that this temptation was very powerful. An immortal emperor sounded very impressive. In the myriad realms, immortal emperors were the true peak characters. Lin Fei's combat prowess was still a long way from reaching the immortal emperor level. A favor from an immortal emperor was indeed worth it. I'm afraid that once you come out, you'll kill me. Lin Fei shook his head. It was better not to take such a risk. A starving camel was still bigger than a horse, let alone an immortal emperor. Lin Fei didn't want to take the risk. It was very tempting to think about it, but who knew the result? How dare you? Who allowed you to speak to master like this? The black-clad servant shouted. The mountains and rivers trembled, and he looked like he was about to attack. Lin Fei was very lazy. He really wasn't worried about this black-clad servant. The black-clad immortal emperor glanced at him. The black-clad servant's forehead was covered in cold sweat, and he retreated to the side. This emperor's words always carry enormous weight. I will never go back on what I said. Moreover, since you dared to come here, you must have a grudge against the Sky Demon Emperor. Although your strength is not bad, you don't even have a 10% chance of winning against the Sky Demon Emperor. As long as this emperor regains my freedom, the Sky Demon Emperor won't be able to do anything to me. Lin Fei thought, this black-clad immortal emperor really knows how to talk. I've stolen a group of demon gods from the Sky Demon Emperor's hands and barged into the 18 levels of purgatory. If I release the black-clad immortal emperor again, the Sky Demon Emperor will probably vomit blood in anger. It would be best if we can fight each other again. The black-clad immortal emperor had been trapped for too long. The existence of the starlight cold chains bound him, causing him to be unable to come out. His strength was restricted. Now that an opportunity had appeared, no one was willing to miss it. The black-clad immortal emperor knew that the pillars at the side had imprisoned the immortal emperors and demon emperors. Ashes to ashes, dust to dust, they couldn't withstand the flow of time. If he missed this opportunity, the black-clad immortal emperor would never have a day of freedom again. He would probably really turn into dust. Just based on your words, I still feel that it's not very reliable. Lin Fei still shook his head. This matter is very difficult for me. What a greedy fellow. The black-clad immortal emperor's eyes were like torches. How could he not see through the other party's thoughts? It was rare to see someone daring to ask a great emperor for money. Young man, this emperor doesn't have any money. However, Once this emperor regains my freedom, I will definitely find the Sky Demon Emperor to fight. This emperor doesn't want anything in the treasury," the black-clad immortal emperor said. He could even see this. Lin Fei indeed had this thought. It still won't do. The Sky Demon Emperor has many experts under him. Do you think I can stop him? Lin Fei wasn't that stupid. I don't want to die for nothing. Xian Kuang, he's my man. His strength is about to reach the half-step immortal emperor level. Other than the Sky Demon Emperor, no one can stop him. Are you satisfied now? Lin Fei had already guessed that this black-clad servant was very strong. He was suppressing a portion of his strength. It seemed that his guess was correct. "I'll reluctantly do it," Lin Fei said. The black-clad immortal emperor Xian Kuang snorted when he saw the other party's doubtful expression. If it wasn't for his master, he would definitely kill this brat. Now that his master was asking this brat for help, immortal Emperor Xian Kuang didn't dare to act recklessly. The matter of the starlight cold iron still depended on this brat. Not long later, the starlight cold iron chain broke. The black-clad immortal emperor who was imprisoned shook the remaining starlight cold iron chain away. "Sky Demon, you old thing, I'm out." Ha 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 ha. Rumbling sounds reverberated from the 18 levels of purgatory. Giant cracks spread across the 18 levels of purgatory, completely collapsing. The black-clad immortal emperor's blood energy recovered. He punched open the 18 purgatory. The entire 18 purgatory shook as he charged out. In the sky above the Sky Demon lair, the black-clad immortal emperor's aura spread. After breaking free from the restriction, his strength continued to rise. The first batch of subordinates of the Sky Demon Emperor rushed out of the palace. The black-clad immortal emperor pressed down with his palm. The sky collapsed and the earth cracked. They were all wiped out. Quick, run. This is a demon emperor. The top experts of the Sky Demon lair paled when they saw this scene. A demon emperor wasn't someone they could stop. They could casually kill him. Knowing that the enemy was behind them, the Sky Demon lair was in complete chaos. Hong, 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 the black-clad immortal emperor rushed out. His emperor's aura swept the Sky Demon lair. With a slap of his hand, many powerful existences exploded. Their blood energy flew to the black-clad immortal emperor, and his aura continued to rise. Everywhere he passed, no one could stop him. Monarch Breaker, you actually broke free from the starlight cold iron. A huge black hand flew out from a palace in front of him and slapped towards the black-clad immortal emperor. Then, a cold voice with surprise and shock could be heard. "Very surprised, isn't it?" The black-clad immortal emperor also slapped his palm. "Back then, you plotted against this emperor. Did you think that this day would come?" As soon as the two palms met, a terrifying force swept out, and an unknown number of experts were strangled to death. "Sky Demon, you don't dare to use your full strength?" "Oh, right. This emperor knows that you are forging a powerful immortal artifact, and don't dare to be distracted." The army breaker, Devil Emperor, strode over and attacked the palaces not far away. One by one, the palaces were destroyed. Lin Fei, who came out of the 18 purgatory, gasped when he saw this scene. After being imprisoned for so long, his strength is still so strong. Lin Fei put himself in the army breaker, Devil Emperor's shoes, and thought that if he encountered such an attack, he definitely wouldn't be able to resist it. Immortal emperors were indeed not ordinary. "You guys fight. I'll go take a stroll around the treasury first." Lin Fei retracted his gaze. He couldn't interfere in this matter. "I'll have to trouble you to go to the treasury." With another expert by his side, Lin Fei naturally had to make use of him. It would be a pity if he wasted it. "Humph! Don't worry, I will complete Master's words." With the demon god leading the way, things were much simpler. Immortal Emperor Xian Kuang was very strong. Few could stop him along the way. With the appearance of a demon emperor, the people below were scared out of their wits. Monarch breaker, how dare you destroy this old man's treasure? Not far away, an angry voice soared into the sky, blasting a hole in the sky. A skinny middle-aged man with a cold and gloomy aura flew up from the ruins. He had all kinds of divine abilities in his hands. The sun and moon shone brightly, and the aura of the great Tao reverberated. Ha ha ha! So what if I destroy your treasure? Another battle erupted in the sky. He really destroyed the treasure. Lin Fei didn't dare to look and shrunk his neck. This time, he really made the Sky Demon Emperor angry. He should make a trip to the treasury, collect the treasure, and then sneak away. Young man, you only have the time of an incense stick. Once the time is up, I'll leave. Demon Emperor Pajun's voice sounded in Lin Fei's ears after the door of the treasury was destroyed. The time of an incense stick? Almost. The treasury of the Sky Demon Emperor's nest was filled with treasures and all kinds of cultivation resources. As soon as Lin Fei came in, he took out the heaven and earth furnace and collected everything he wanted. As for what it was, he didn't have time to care. This kid is really ruthless. He's going to rob everything. Immortal Emperor Xian Kuang was at the door and saw everything clearly. It wasn't that he hadn't seen people who dared to collect treasures in the nest of a demon emperor, but it was very rare for a celestial king to do it. Ordinary celestial kings couldn't move when they saw the emperor's aura, so how would they dare to plunder the demon emperor's treasury? Just based on this point, Immortal Emperor Xian Kuang knew that he couldn't compare to him. What a promising young man! The time of an incense stick wasn't long or short, but it was enough for Lin Fei. It's about time. Lin Fei came out again, and the aura of all kinds of divine abilities filled the sky, all of which were emperor-level divine abilities. They intertwined and didn't dissipate for a long time. The two demon emperors fought back and forth, and their traces couldn't be seen clearly. Sky Demon, your strength is only SOSO. Wait for my strength to recover, then we'll fight again. Chapter 1117. After the battle, the Sky Devil Emperor's lair was no longer what it used to be. The aura of the Sky Devil Emperor's divine arts were everywhere. The divine arts left behind by the Sky Devil Emperor didn't dissipate for a long time. Anyone who went near them would be obliterated. The Sky Devil Emperor's lair was in ruins. The Sky Devil Emperor was restrained in the battle between the two. After being imprisoned for so long, the Sky Devil Emperor needed to vent his anger. The Sky Devil Emperor's subordinates were all heavily injured by the Sky Devil Emperor's attacks. The power of an enraged Sky Devil Emperor was unimaginable. After Devil Emperor Pajun left, the Sky Devil Emperor was gloomy. He didn't have the time to activate the formation to keep the Sky Devil Emperor. How did Devil Emperor Pajun come out? No one in the universe can break the starlight cold iron. The Sky Devil Emperor's expression was ugly. Back then, when he imprisoned this demon emperor, he actually wanted to obtain the other party's divine abilities and methods to increase his own strength. The Sky Devil Emperor couldn't do anything to the Sky Devil Emperor. He could only suppress the Sky Devil Emperor in the last level of purgatory and use the starlight cold iron to restrain him. But who would have thought that the Sky Devil Emperor would come out one day? The Sky Devil Emperor really wanted to kill Devil Emperor Pajun, but he could only heavily injure the Sky Devil Emperor. What a pity! If this Emperor's soul-extinguishing divine spear was completed, killing Pajun would be as easy as flipping my palm. The Sky Devil Emperor thought, now that the Sky Devil Emperor has escaped, he will definitely come for revenge in the future. Pajun has many good friends behind him, and some of them are far stronger than me. For safety's sake, I need to find them. The Sky Devil Emperor was thinking far ahead. Since it had happened, he just had to deal with it. Pajun had friends, so did he. Who was afraid of who? My soul-extinguishing divine spear failed at the crucial moment. At least it's a half-finished product and can still release some power. I'll just refine it after I gather the materials. The Sky Devil Emperor was in a bad mood. When he returned to his palace, he found that the soul-extinguishing divine spear was gone. His divine sense scanned the place and couldn't find the half-finished spear. Who took it? Boom, 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 another large area of the palace was crushed into pieces. The celestial demon emperor couldn't think of anyone who could steal his divine soul destroyer spear at such a critical juncture and do it without making a sound. Ancestor, the treasury has been ransacked. The Sky Devil Monarch often searched for treasures outside, and there were many treasures and materials in the treasury. This news was like rubbing salt on the wound. Whoosh! The Sky Demon Emperor was in the treasury. The huge treasury was practically empty. It had been ransacked by the rats, but they couldn't find anything decent. Who did it? This emperor is going to skin him alive. Roars reverberated in the sky above Heavenly Demon's lair, lingering for a long time. This spear is so heavy, I almost couldn't carry it. Lin Fei carried the black spear and executed the emperor-level divine ability, so near, yet worlds apart. He executed it several times in a row and only stopped when he felt that it was safe. Lin Fei had stolen the soul-extinguishing divine spear refined by the Sky Demon Emperor. When the two monarchs were fighting, Lin Fei plundered the treasury. He dared to sneak under the ruins of the palace and tore apart the restriction formation. Lin Fei didn't waste time and charged in. He saw a spear emitting imperial aura and carried it away, not caring if it was good or bad. Young man, you're quite bold. You even dared to take the soul-extinguishing divine spear refined by the Sky Demon Emperor. Devil Emperor Pijuan walked out of the void with a pale face. After a round of fighting, he was injured and retreated. The soul-extinguishing divine spear in Lin Fei's hand flew out and landed in Devil Emperor Pijuan's hand. Several seals landed on it, and the imperial aura returned to the soul-extinguishing divine spear. Devil Emperor Pijuan didn't know what to say. This young man dared to steal the treasure while they were fighting. No one in the 10,000 worlds would dare to do such a thing. It's a good item. It's fated with me. This can't be blamed on anyone. Don't tell me the great emperor has taken a fancy to it? Lin Fei blinked. He was really worried that Devil Emperor Pijuan would take a fancy to the spear. From the first glance, Lin Fei knew that this spear was extraordinary. It turned out that it was called the Soul-Extinguishing Divine Spear. Don't worry, this emperor has no interest in this thing. This emperor has helped you erase the traces left behind by the Sky Demon Emperor. You can use it without worry. The soul-extinguishing divine spear landed in Lin Fei's hand. Lin Fei just remembered that he almost brought trouble to himself. This soul-extinguishing divine spear came from the hands of the Sky Demon Emperor. It must have left behind his divine sense. Many thanks, Lord Devil Emperor. Lin Fei said gratefully. He kept the soul-extinguishing divine spear. I wonder what level this soul-extinguishing divine spear has reached. You are quite smart. This soul-extinguishing divine spear should be an emperor's divine weapon, a divine weapon that can only be used by immortal emperors. Now, this soul-extinguishing divine spear is just a half-finished product, and it should be a high-grade immortal weapon, containing a portion of emperor's might. With your strength, you won't be able to use it more than once. Demon Emperor Pijuan naturally knew what this guy was thinking. High-grade immortal weapon? That's not bad. Lin Fei felt that it was a pity. However, he knew that immortal emperors could use emperor's divine weapons instead of immortal weapons. Your appetite is really big. You're still not satisfied. You're just an immortal king. A high-grade immortal weapon is enough to turn the tables at a crucial moment. Devil Emperor Pijuan shook his head. The Sky Demon Emperor has suffered a great loss this time. Many people will suffer because of this. You should leave as soon as possible. This emperor is leaving too. Lin Fei was satisfied. A high-grade immortal weapon was another trump card. This trump card couldn't be used carelessly. If the Sky Demon Emperor heard about it, he would be hunted down. Many thanks for the reminder, Devil Emperor. When he looked again, Demon Emperor Pujuin had disappeared. He left so quickly. Is he afraid that I'll rely on him? Lin Fei didn't dare to stay any longer. He flew towards the academy. The great metropolis heaven was huge. Lin Fei's speed was much faster than before. If he used his emperor's sacred art, he would be even faster. Rivers and mountains passed under his feet. In the great metropolis heaven, the immortal king realm was one of the best. Originally, Lin Fei wanted to get some good stuff under the nose of the Sky Demon Emperor. He didn't expect to take the most important thing and release a Devil Emperor. It was like a dream. He wanted to go to the Nether Palace, but it seemed that he had to postpone it. If he was suspected, the anger of a Devil Emperor wouldn't be appeased so easily. In the cloudless sky, a group of 8 people flew across the sky. What do you guys think Holy Heaven Academy's Lin Fei did this time to anger the Nether Palace and force the Holy Heaven Academy to hand over Lin Fei? That's hard to say, but the Nether Palace is coming in a threatening manner. It seems like they'll declare war if the Holy Heaven Academy doesn't hand over Lin Fei. That's impossible, right? The Holy Heaven Academy probably doesn't want to start a war with the Nether Palace just for Lin Fei. These people were all talking at once, discussing spiritedly. At this moment, a power enveloped them, making them unable to move. They saw a black-clothed man appear before them. It was Lin Fei. What did you guys just say? Lin Fei asked with a solemn face. Everyone in the group was so scared that their faces were pale. The leader braced himself and said, "Brother Lin, we were just saying it casually." Before he could speak, he was interrupted. "Get to the point. What exactly happened?" Lin Fei didn't know that he would hear about the Nether Palace. It seemed that the Nether Palace wanted the Holy Heaven Academy to hand him over. After increasing his cultivation realm, Lin Fei's fighting strength was unbelievably ferocious, even though he was only in the immortal king realm. Just a single sentence was enough to scare them to the point that they felt as if they had encountered a god of death. He told them everything he knew. To sum it up, it was very simple. The Netherworld Palace seemed to have taken some wrong medicine. They brought a large group of people and aggressively charged into the Holy Heaven Academy, demanding the higher-ups of the academy to hand over Lin Fei. After Lin Fei figured it out, he turned into a streak of light and left. That aura was so terrifying. How can Lin Fei's strength increase so quickly? Those people were covered in cold sweat. Lin Fei was more terrifying than the rumors said. Nether Palace, I didn't go to you, but you came to me instead. You must have taken the wrong medicine. Do you really think that I, Lin Fei, am still the Lin Fei that you chased after? Killing intent flashed in Lin Fei's eyes. He didn't want to go to the Nether Palace at first. Since they came to bully him, he couldn't just let it go. If you dare to touch a hair on Lin Jiqing and the others, I will make the Nether Palace disappear. Lin Fei directly used the Arch-tier divine ability so close, yet worlds apart. The dense aura of the Arch-tier divine ability flew over the cities, alarming many experts who were cultivating in seclusion. They all sensed the aura of the Arch-tier divine ability and the killing aura. What's going on? What great anger! These hidden cultivators woke up from their seclusion and looked at one side of the sky. The Holy Heaven Academy had been in the limelight recently. The Eternal Emperor's treasure vault was about to open, and everyone was paying attention to it. Originally, there shouldn't be anyone looking for trouble at this juncture. But when the Nether Palace came in a threatening manner, the appearance of a few Nether Palace elders alarmed all the forces in the great metropolis world. Now that these elders had appeared, something big was going to happen. For the sake of Lin Fei, the Nether Palace had gone all out this time. They were determined to take Lin Fei away. The Holy Heaven Academy was once again the center of attention. Our intention is very simple. Hand over Lin Fei, and you will still be the Holy Heaven Academy. Otherwise, don't blame us for starting a war with your academy. A cold voice echoed in a majestic palace. 3 dignified old men stood in a straight line with a powerful aura. Behind them stood a group of subordinates. The elder in the middle suddenly threw out a ruthless remark without looking at the reaction of the others in the palace. On the Holy Heaven Academy's side, the senior elders were all furious. Since the establishment of the academy, no one had ever dared to declare war against the Holy Heaven Academy. The Nether Palace wanted to start a war for a mere Lin Fei. The senior elders were shocked. Chapter 11:18. Holy Sky Academy Main Hall. The attitude of the people from Netherworld Palace was overbearing, but the result was the same. They wanted the higher-ups of Holy Sky Academy to hand over Lin Fei, not giving them any face at all. Many elders of Holy Sky Academy obviously wouldn't agree to this request. In their eyes, Lin Fei was a peerless monster, an elite among the younger generation. He would have a place in the future even if he walked out of the great metropolis world. Some of the more hot-tempered ones refused very thoroughly. Their meaning was very obvious. It was impossible to hand over Lin Fei unless they started a war. The people in the main hall were as noisy as a market. The people from Netherworld Palace said that they would give them 1 night to think. If they couldn't make a decision by then, they would take action themselves. At that time, it wouldn't be their business anymore. The words they left behind made some of the higher-ups of Holy Sky Academy angry. If they didn't restrain themselves, they would have taken action on the spot. Even so, that was almost the limit. Humph. The Holy Heaven Academy will definitely obediently hand over that brat Lin Fei. We can take him away without any effort. In a palace in Holy Sky Academy, the people from the Nether Palace would stay here for the night. Although Holy Sky Academy was angry, they didn't dare to let the people from Netherworld Palace go out. Netherworld Palace was one of the top 10 forces, after all. Moreover, there were 3 hidden elders who came today. Zhu Tian, Immortal Emperor, snorted. To avoid trouble, we will take action tomorrow. That brat Lin Fei isn't here. We will take his family away. Everything was worth it in order to curry favor with the major forces of the divine dragon world. Zhu Tian, Immortal Emperor, was one of the warmongers. They liked to solve everything with force. If they didn't agree, they would take action. They really didn't care about a mere Holy Sky Academy. Saint Sky, Immortal Emperor, had become a thing of the past. He wasn't a threat anymore. They didn't dare to take action before because Holy Sky Academy had a certain foundation. If they really broke the net, both sides would suffer. They didn't want that. Things were different now. With the support of Hidden Dragon Force, they didn't care about all this. Today, those old fogies said that they don't plan to hand over Lin Fei. It doesn't seem possible to expect them to hand over Lin Fei. Another elder spoke. This elder was called Frostfire Immortal Emperor, similarly an elder who cultivated in seclusion. Back then, his reputation in great metropolis world wasn't small, having killed many experts. He was a savage person. At this moment, a middle-aged man walked up and said in a low voice, 3 elders, the higher-ups of the Divine Heaven Academy, aren't united. For example, Elder Muotian is gnashing his teeth at Lin Fei. Back then, not only did Lin Fei make a move against his disciple, he even made a move against him, causing him to lose all face in the academy. As long as we release our thoughts, I believe that they will definitely be very enthusiastic about dealing with Lin Fei. I'll leave this matter to you. You must do it well. We don't want to waste time on this. Immortal Emperor Frost said indifferently. The middle-aged man retreated. There were only 3 elders left in the main hall. Why bother? Why don't we just make a move tomorrow? Zhu Tian, Immortal Emperor, was not satisfied with the arrangement. Do you think those old fogies of the Divine Heaven Academy dare to stop us? I'll cripple them. Zhu Tian, Immortal Emperor, killed people like flies before you became an Immortal Emperor. Not to mention that you have comprehended more than 50 laws after becoming an Immortal Emperor. It's best not to make a move if we can. Immortal Emperor Frost was already used to you, Zhu Tian, Immortal Emperor's words. We must bring Lin Fei back. No one can stop us, not even those old fogies of the academy. Lin Fei is simply a pest. In another palace of the Divine Heaven Academy, many elders were sitting together and discussing among themselves. It seemed like they were taking pleasure in Lin Fei's misfortune. That goes without saying. He must have killed another genius disciple of the Nether Palace. That's why the Nether Palace is willing to make a move. Lin Fei is too daring. He doesn't even care about us seniors. It's great that he's taken away by the Nether Palace. Many of these elders' disciples had either suffered greatly at Lin Fei's hands or been killed. As Lin Fei's strength continued to rise, his battle prowess was off the charts. Gradually, they were unable to suppress him anymore. However, Elder Du Tao and the others won't agree. An elder said, "Many elders think highly of Lin Fei. They think that he's the future pillar of the academy." The words of these elders caused their mood, which had just gotten better with great difficulty, to sink to the bottom again. They couldn't turn the situation around with their words. "Elder Mu, someone's coming." A person ran in and said. Mu Outyen sat on the main seat with a frown. "I won't see anyone today." At this time, Mu Outyen was thinking about how to deal with Lin Fei. He would not waste time meeting with anyone. Lin Fei had publicly slapped him in the face and even sent him to Mount June to face the wall in the cold valley. He had yet to vent his anger. "Elder, this is the token of the person outside." The person braced himself and took out an item. Mu Outyen glanced at it and his expression changed. He stood up. "Bring me there." The others didn't see it clearly. They were all curious about what made Elder Mu change his mind. They knew Elder Mu's character. Not long after, Elder Mu returned. Everyone wanted to know who it was, but no one dared to ask. "Everyone, go back and contact your friends. Lin Fei must be on the same side." Mu Outyen said, "Our Divine Heaven Academy has experienced many ups and downs in the great metropolis world. We can't make a mistake on this matter. The Nether Palace is powerful. If we really start a war, both sides will suffer. At that time, we will definitely be surpassed by other academies." Mu Outyen's words were very serious. Everyone agreed with this statement. The Nether Palace wasn't a small force. It was one of the top 10 forces in the great metropolis world. It wasn't worth it for the academy to start a war with them just for Lin Fei. "Rest assured, Elder Mu. We will go and persuade the other elders after we go back. We must pay attention to Lin Fei's matter." All the elders present were well aware that Elder Mu had to get rid of Lin Fei and take revenge for what he had done in the past. The elders left very quickly. After all the elders left, Mu Outyen's expression was gloomy. Lin Fei, you asked for it. I've obtained a lot of benefits by persuading some elders. You really made the Nether Palace spend a lot of money. This old man will go and persuade those elders while I have time." The Divine Heaven Academy's upper echelons were divided into 3 factions. One refused to hand over Lin Fei, the other wanted to hand over Lin Fei, and the last one was the neutral faction. Mu Outyen wanted to persuade the neutral faction. After all, the number of neutral factions was the most important. As long as he roped them in, even the elders who supported Lin Fei would have to respect everyone's opinion. One night actually passed very quickly. It could be said that the Divine Heaven Academy's upper echelons didn't have a good rest. The Nether Palace starting a war with the Divine Heaven Academy wasn't a small matter. On the contrary, it was a huge matter. They couldn't sleep for the entire night. A dark cloud was gradually forming in the sky above the Divine Heaven Academy. The major forces in the great metropolis world were actually paying attention to this matter. They were quite curious. Why would they start a war with the Divine Heaven Academy just for Lin Fei? Could it be that there were many secrets hidden in it? They might be a big sect, but they were actually quite gossipy. The Nether Palace wanted to start a war with the Divine Heaven Academy just for one person. A person who wasn't that important. It was indeed unimaginable. When the first ray of sunlight shone on the palace, a new day had arrived. I wonder what's the outcome for you guys? We don't have much time to spare. Let's wait for you guys. Yu Jutian's tone was very cold. He swaggered down and ignored the gazes of many elders. Elder Yu, we don't have to be so anxious. I believe they already have an outcome. Immortal Monarch Huahan acted as the good guy, but in reality he was also forcing the upper echelons of the Divine Heaven Academy to take out an outcome. The upper echelons and elders of the Divine Heaven Academy were all furious. The Nether Palace wasn't giving them any face at all. Were they determined to devour the Divine Heaven Academy? Elders of the Nether Palace, Lin Fei is a genius of our academy with a boundless future. Do you think that it's possible for you to hand over Lin Fei or start a war? Saint 33, the Grand Elder of the Divine Heaven Academy, said in a solemn voice. Even the Grand Elder of the Divine Heaven Academy was alarmed by this matter. Saint 33 was a disciple of the Saint Sky Immortal Emperor. He hadn't been involved in the Academy's affairs for a very long time. Apart from important matters, he rarely showed himself. I was wondering who it was, so it's the Grand Elder. The Immortal Monarch recognized Yu Jiutian and said in an eccentric tone, Grand Elder, many people will die for a single Lin Fei. This old man is afraid that you can't afford the loss. The Divine Heaven Academy is still one of the 4 great academies in the great metropolis world. Don't let the inheritance of the Divine Heaven Academy end just for a single Lin Fei. If the Saint Sky Immortal Emperor knows about this, he definitely won't be at peace. Yu Jiutian sneered again. It might seem like a reminder, but it was actually a warning. In the great metropolis world, the 4 great academies had a lot of influence. If the Divine Heaven Academy really started a war, then no matter the outcome, the Divine Heaven Academy wouldn't be able to bear it. In the worst case, they might suffer a great loss and never be able to rise again. They might even be annexed by others. For the Divine Heaven Academy that had been passed down for so long, no one wanted to see such a scene. Yu Jiutian's words caused a commotion among the upper echelons of the Divine Heaven Academy. They still cared a lot about the Divine Heaven Academy that had been passed down from generation to generation. If the Academy suffered a great loss for a single Lin Fei, they wouldn't be able to forgive themselves. The Grand Elder, Saint 33, slightly frowned his brows as he saw some signs. Chapter 1119. Elysium Main Hall. Elysium's great elder's attitude was very firm. He would rather start a war than hand over Lin Fei. If they lowered their head in front of a force and handed over Lin Fei, then from now on, Elysium would no longer be considered as one of the 4 great academies. Their influence might even plummet and fall from their position as one of the 4 great academies. At that time, no one would be willing to join Elysium. If Elysium couldn't even protect a single disciple, if they could hand over Lin Fei today, then they could hand over another Li Fei, Zhang Fei, as time goes on, who would still become a disciple of Elysium. One could imagine what the result would be. Many higher-ups agreed with Saint 33's words. They couldn't lose the bigger picture because of a small game. The expressions of Yu Jiutian and the rest slightly changed. If Elysium's great elder insisted on not handing Lin Fei over, would they really start a war? Starting a war was just a deterrent to gain an advantageous position. Just like what they said, if they really started a war, then both sides would suffer great losses. The 3 elders of the Netherworld Palace wanted to rely on their influence to suppress others. As long as they could suppress the higher-ups of Elysium, then everything would be easy. Saint 33, do you really want to stubbornly go all the way? Aren't you going to ask for their opinion? Immortal Emperor Frost said, indifferently with a hint of pride on his face. Saint 33 said, In Elysium, as the great elder, I believe the other elders will agree with my decision. You don't have to worry about it. Immortal Emperor Frost laughed heartily. That's not necessarily true. You might be the disciple of the Elysium Old Ancestor, but Elysium doesn't belong to you alone. Just now, Immortal Emperor Frost received the news. It was a success. Great elder, this old man has something to say about Lin Fei. As soon as he finished speaking, an elder came out from the higher-ups of Elysium. He was surrounded by people and seemed to be very influential. Everyone else looked at him with respect. Saint 33 raised his eyebrows. "Old Five, what do you want to say?" The fifth elder was actually one of the 10 most influential elders among the upper echelon elders. His name was Elder Hai Tian. "Grand Elder, you're a disciple of the Patriarch, and I'm a notary disciple as well. We've worked so hard for the Institute, but now you're going to abandon the Institute for the sake of Lin Fei. Are you going to drag everyone to their deaths?" Elder Hai is right. It's not worth it for a mere Lin Fei. Our academy is filled with geniuses. If you do something wrong, you will have to pay the price. One by one, the elders stepped forward. Many of them were elders of the centrist faction. Not far away, a few elders' faces darkened. Why did Elder Hai and the others suddenly oppose Lin Fei? That doesn't make sense. Doesn't Elder Hai like Lin Fei? These elders all supported Lin Fei, and Elder Du Tao was one of them. If Lin Fei matured, he would definitely become an expert of the Institute in the future. Du Tao and the others naturally had to defend the Nether Palace's treatment of Lin Fei, and they wouldn't agree to hand over Lin Fei. In just one night, the centrist elders changed their minds. If this continued, things wouldn't be good. Elder Du Tao and the others began to worry. The Grand Elder had a lot of authority in the Elysium Institute. Once all the elders had the same opinion on certain matters, the Grand Elder would have to carefully consider it. Old Five is right. This old man also agrees to hand over Lin Fei. Another elder stepped forward, causing another commotion among the upper echelon elders. This elder was also one of the 10 elders. His name was Yi Tian, and his influence wasn't any weaker than Elder Hai Tian's. He was a notary disciple. The Elysium ancestor had left behind some inheritances and accepted many disciples. His personal disciple was Saint 33. There weren't many disciples like him, but notary disciples were not few. Among the 10 elders, all of them were notary disciples, and their influence was huge. 2 of the 10 elders came out one after another. Anyone who wasn't stupid would know what this meant. In just one night, a storm was brewing. Everyone definitely doesn't know what Lin Fei has done outside, right? At this moment, Mu Outyen walked out with a face full of anger. His words had undoubtedly aroused the curiosity of the upper echelon elders. The Nether Palace came in an overbearing manner and wanted to take Lin Fei away. As for the reason, they didn't say a word. Since the other party didn't say anything, everyone naturally didn't know. Mu Outyen stood out and said this. Everyone wanted to know what Lin Fei had done to attract the hidden elders of the Nether Palace. "Let's see how you escape this time." Mu Outyen sneered in his heart. Some of the upper echelon elders who originally supported Lin Fei wavered. If Lin Fei had really done something wrong and affected the reputation of the Elysium Academy, they would stand on the opposite side for the sake of the Academy. Seeing that everyone's gaze was drawn over, Mu Outyen said, "Although there is a certain conflict between me and Lin Fei, that is just a small matter. As long as Lin Fei doesn't make a huge mistake and does something that disgraces the Academy, I won't target him. Speaking of which, he is also a disciple of the Academy. However, this time, Lin Fei has gone too far. Even I can't help but get angry after hearing it. I don't want to speak up for him." Those who didn't know better would really think that Mu Outyen was a magnanimous person and wouldn't take the previous matter to heart. Nonsense. Elder Du Tao and the others wouldn't believe that Mu Outyen would be so kind as to help Lin Fei. They knew Mu Outyen the best. The Vice Dean of Mount June was his subordinate. Now that he was imprisoned, how could he be magnanimous? Perhaps everyone doesn't know that Lin Fei looks like a gentleman on the surface, but he is actually a rapist in private. A few days ago, he snuck into the Nether Palace, harmed the fairies, and cruelly killed them. Mu Outyen said a lot of words and poured all kinds of dirty water on Lin Fei. rapist, cruel and unbearable to look at. Moreover, it happened to a great force like the Nether Palace. For an academy, a rapist that ruined its reputation had always been something that they attached great importance to. If this matter was true, then the Nether Palace had sufficient reason to come here with murderous intent. Impossible. We all know what kind of character Lin Fei has. What you said is completely unreasonable. Elder Du Tao couldn't help but say, Elder Mu, do you think that with junior brother Lin Fei's strength he can enter the Nether Palace quietly? Can he leave calmly? Even you and I might not be able to do it. Everyone knew what kind of place the Nether Palace was. With just Lin Fei's strength, he definitely couldn't enter. Since he couldn't enter, this kind of words were obviously untenable. Elder Du Tao and the others doubted the truth of these words. Elder Du Tao almost scolded Mu Aoyan for being more shameless. No matter what, Lin Fei was their junior brother. Yet Mu Aoyan spoke ill of him in public. Didn't he have any shame? Mu Aoyan said with a pained expression, I thought so too. Lin Fei is a genius and a pioneer among the youths. It's impossible for him to do such a thing. But now it seems that we know a person for a long time, but not for his heart. Elder Du, you have to believe the truth. Otherwise, why would the Nether Palace come here? Great Elder, since Lin Fei has done such a thing, in my opinion, we don't need to protect him, Elder Hai Tian said indifferently. If this matter were to spread out, it wouldn't be good for our academy. Elder Yi Tian said, I believe that everyone has the same thought. Lin Fei can do such a thing. Even the heavens cannot tolerate it. If we continue to tolerate it, we can't guarantee that he won't do other things in the future. The higher-ups of Holy Sky Academy were not united. The people of the Nether Palace all laughed. A mere trick caused the higher-ups of Holy Sky Academy to be no longer united. It seemed that they really didn't need to use force to easily take away Lin Fei. Perhaps when they returned to the Nether Palace, their contributions would be even greater. After all, they wouldn't need to waste a single soldier. Now, it all depended on the decision of the great elder of Holy Sky Academy. The elders who supported Lin Fei at the beginning were gradually shaken. They started to support handing over Lin Fei. Except for a few, almost everyone had the same thought. Hand over Lin Fei so that it wouldn't affect the academy. The situation was one-sided. Any academy couldn't tolerate this kind of thing. Not to mention, it was even more intolerable when someone came knocking on their door. Handing over Lin Fei seemed to be the best choice. The great elder, Saint 33, frowned even more. He didn't expect such a situation. Many elders among the 10 elders stood out one after another. This made the great elder have no choice but to carefully consider this matter. If the people's hearts were scattered, it wouldn't be easy to lead the team. Although the Holy Sky Academy wasn't as glorious as it used to be, it was still barely one of the 4 great academies. However, if something were to happen to the academy because of Lin Fei, then as the great elder, he would have a huge responsibility. He wouldn't have the face to see the old ancestor. Great elder, you have to think twice about ending the legacy of the sacred heaven old ancestor for a single Lin Fei. Immortal Emperor Huahan said proudly. At this point, he didn't believe that Saint 33 would go all the way and fight against the Netherworld Palace for a single Lin Fei. If that was the case, the Holy Sky Academy would be courting death. After hearing Mu Aoyan's words, almost 2/3 of the elders felt that Lin Fei had committed a heinous crime and shouldn't be protected. They suggested handing him over. Only the remaining 1/3, such as the elders behind the 3 vice deans and Elder Du Tao, thought that Lin Fei wouldn't do such a thing. Mu Aoyan's words alone couldn't prove anything without any substantial evidence. However, the Netherworld Palace was coming aggressively and even declared war. Unknowingly, it gave everyone a huge pressure. It was normal for the elders to have such thoughts. Great Elder, I'll give you 10 breaths to consider. Are you going to hand over Lin Fei or not? Yu Jiutian sneered. Lin Fei is the first person who dares to do such a thing in the Netherworld Palace. I believe your academy won't allow such a person to affect the academy, right? Ha ha ha! They could see that Saint 33 had made a decision. He was determined to hand over Lin Fei. Who dares to stop me? Chapter 1120. The Nether Palace had come with a lot of people, not only to strengthen their momentum, but also to show off their muscle strength. In order to prevent Lin Fei from escaping, the Nether Palace had arranged a lot of experts outside. They immediately saw the commotion outside. They released their divine senses and saw Lin Fei, who was being blocked by someone. The black-clad Lin Fei was very eye-catching in the crowd. 3 elders, that person is Lin Fei. Someone quickly went up to report. Their understanding of Lin Fei had always been limited to his name. It wasn't that they had never seen him before, but they didn't care much about his appearance. I was wondering who Lin Fei is. It turns out he's just a kid. Yu Jiutian laughed coldly. For this little fellow, I'm already giving him a lot of face, let alone the 3 of us elders. The frigid fire immortal emperor's eyes flashed with a strange light. This Lin Fei truly has some capabilities. Not long ago, he was already a grand Luo Golden Immortal. In such a short period of time, his cultivation base has already reached the heaven-ranked Immortal King realm. The other elder, Nether Ghost, who hadn't spoken much, said, Since Lin Fei has appeared, we don't have to look for him. Let's capture him. The 3 of them had the same idea. They had to take him away. Zili, go and suppress Lin Fei later. A young man behind them said with joy, Don't worry, elders. I'll take down Lin Fei. No matter how talented he is, he's no match for me. The 3 elders were quite relieved. Zili's strength was obvious to everyone in the sect. Behind him stood several high-level elders, and his influence was very great. This time, he had brought him here to render meritorious service. If one wanted to go far in the Nether Palace, they had to make a contribution. Taking Lin Fei back was undoubtedly a big deal. As long as they captured him, plus the elders behind him, the benefits would be unimaginable. It's good that you're back. We don't even need to say anything. The people from the Nether Palace will take you down. When Mu Outyin saw Lin Fei, he was slightly startled. Then he gloated. The Nether Palace's 3 hidden elders are here. Let's see how Lin Fei is going to deal with this. Heaven-ranked Immortal King? How is that possible? But when he saw Lin Fei's cultivation base, Mu Outyin felt even more unhappy. When Lin Fei was still a great firmament golden immortal, Lin Fei had already caused him to suffer a loss. Now that he was a heaven-ranked Immortal King, his combat prowess didn't increase even further. At this point, Mu Outyin couldn't wait for the Nether Palace to capture Lin Fei. For such a genius to grow to such an extent, it was quite dangerous. If this continued, the future days of these elders would not be good. Mu Outyin had done many things today. If Lin Fei found out about it, the consequences would be unimaginable. Lin Fei must not stay. For Lin Fei to return at this time was clearly not a good time. That brat Lin Fei, why did he come back? Du Tao and the others didn't really want Lin Fei to return at this time. If he didn't return, everything would be fine. Even if the 3 elders of the Nether Palace wanted to make a move, they would have to pay a certain price. Now that he was back, the situation was completely different. What should we do? I didn't expect the Nether Palace to really muster such a large force. After hearing the news, Lin Fei executed the Emperor-tier divine ability Foot Apart and rushed back immediately. They were only at the periphery, but they were immediately targeted by the people from the Nether Palace. All of you die. Lin Fei originally delayed dealing with the Nether Palace, but they took the initiative to come to him. This made him very angry. Hua, 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 the saber light slashed out in an incomparably domineering manner. The disciples of the Nether Palace in the periphery weren't a match for it and were instantly killed. Their corpses were cut into several pieces and fell from the sky. Those who block me shall die. The saber intent around Lin Fei boiled and evolved into a world of saber intent. A world of saber intent swept his way. After all, this saber intent came from the ancient Saber Emperor. It wasn't just domineering. The people of the Nether Palace in the periphery were heavily injured and couldn't stop Lin Fei from charging in. On the side of the Nether Palace, many people frowned. Lin Fei's battle prowess seemed to be stronger than the information stated. Such a domineering saber intent almost crushed a group of their disciples. Although they were surprised by Lin Fei's strength, they were still at ease with the three elders around. After all, no matter how strong Lin Fei was, he was definitely not a match for the three elders. Lin Fei, you've committed a grave sin. Why don't you kneel and admit your mistake? Mu Outyin was very uncomfortable when he saw Lin Fei crushing the disciples of the Nether Palace. Many of the disciples of the Nether Palace were very strong, but they were slaughtered like sheep in front of Lin Fei. He hoped that Lin Fei wouldn't be able to stay. Some people on Mu Outyin's side agreed. They could see that Lin Fei had endless potential. If they didn't take this opportunity to get rid of Lin Fei, it would be impossible the next time. At this moment, Lin Fei rushed in from the outside. The group of people moved from the palace to the gate and happened to see Lin Fei rushing in. The Nether Palace is really generous. They directly arranged for 3 immortal emperors, and each of them has cultivated more than 50 laws. Their battle prowess is very strong. With a single glance, Lin Fei was able to tell that the strength of those 3 elders were like 3 immovable mountains. They were extraordinarily powerful. If it was in the past, Lin Fei might not be able to do anything. Each of the 3 immortal emperors wanted him to have nowhere to go. With the passage of time, the situation was different from the past. He was no longer someone that anyone could bully. Even the Nether Palace had to think twice before they acted. Otherwise, they would lose their teeth. Elder Mu, you're shouting very happily. Don't you know that your mouth is actually very smelly? Lin Fei didn't even need to think to know what role Elder Mu played in this. Swish, 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 swish. Rays of saber radiance swept across the sky and slashed at Mu Outyin in front of everyone, shocking everyone. Lin Fei really dared to make a move. Mu Outyin was furious. This Lin Fei really deserves to die. Does he really think that I'm as easy to bully as before? Swish! The saber radiance turned into a saber that looked down on the world. The saber intent was lawless. The saber slashed at Mu Outyin's body. No one could see the trajectory, and Mu Outyin's body was directly cut open. Now it's quiet. After killing Mu Outyin's body, Lin Fei's cold eyes looked at the 3 elders of the Nether Palace. 3 immortal emperors, I heard that you've mobilized a lot of people to find me. Now that I'm here, what do you plan to do? Lin Fei stood proudly with his hands behind his back. Mu Outyin, who was not far away, had just reassembled his body. Lin Fei flicked his finger, and the saber radiance slashed at Mu Outyin again. Chapter 11:21. Elder Mu! Lin Fei, what are you doing? The elders standing in the same circle as Mu Outyin all revealed horrified expressions as they sternly criticized Lin Fei. However, none of them dared to make a move. Among them, Elder Mu Outyin's strength was the strongest. However, in front of Lin Fei, the strongest elder's body had been slashed apart by a single saber strike. What could they do if they went up? Right after they spoke, another saber light flew over and flew past them, leaving a drop of blood on their faces. If you dare to make any more noise, I will slaughter all of you. Just a moment ago, Lin Fei received a voice transmission from Elder Du Tao, telling him what Mu Outyin was doing. These elders immediately shut their mouths. They had all seen Mu Outyin's miserable state, but they could not believe it. In such a short time, Lin Fei's strength surpassed Mu Outyin's by several times. Every time he attacked, he would crush Mu Outyin. They did not want to be killed again. That would be too embarrassing. Before Xiao Chen's strength, They indeed did not dare to speak any more. However, when the Holy Heaven Academy disciples saw this scene, Lin Fei became an existence that they worshipped once again. Furthermore, it was a top-notch worshipping, killing an elder of the Academy's upper echelon without saying a word. How tyrannical and mighty was this? A strange look flashed in the eyes of the first elder, Holy 33, who had been standing at the very front. What a great Lin Fei! He must have obtained some shocking, fortuitous encounter on this trip. This old man can sense a surging power from his body. Even if this old man were to face him, I would have a headache. This saber intent is vast and extraordinary, containing an ancient intent. Could it be the saber intent left behind by an ancient expert? The first elder, Holy 33, naturally hoped that Lin Fei would be as strong as possible. Xiao Qin had killed Mu Outyin the moment he arrived. It could be said that he did not care about the elders at all. However, the first elder, Holy 33, did not get angry. Instead, he felt comfortable. The first elder didn't like Mu Outyin very much. He had seen all of Mu Outyin's petty actions in private. However, in his position, what could he do about such trivial matters? Of course, he could only turn a blind eye and not take it seriously. Lin Fei had killed Mu Outyin the moment he arrived. Although he had only destroyed the physical body and shocked the upper echelon elders, Holy 33 was still very gratified by this action. This Lin Fei was not all brawn and no brains. At the very least, he had dealt with the problem on his side first. He had grasped the timing very well. Only then could he be at ease. Seeing that the first elder didn't say anything, who would dare to criticize Lin Fei? Wouldn't that be courting death? At first, the three celestial lords did not think much of it. However, after Lin Fei killed Mu Outyin's physical body, their opinion changed. Ancient saber intent, courageously advancing. If such a person grew up, he would definitely become a formidable enemy of the Nether Palace. He had talent, but his edges and corners had been ground down. His future achievements would definitely be limited because once his edges and corners were ground down, he would lose his motivation. His actions would be smooth and he would be overcautious. But Lin Fei was different. His edges were still there and hadn't been smoothed out. He acted according to his character. In a place like the Academy, it was extremely rare for someone to immediately attack an elder. Even in the Netherworld Palace, there wasn't a second person who would do such a thing. Lin Fei, you've committed a huge crime in our Netherworld Palace. You should come with us. Immortal Dominator Huan said in a calm tone before unleashing a powerful aura. Lin Fei was unmoved. Something big? Why don't I know about it? Don't tell me it's all groundless nonsense. You should at least take out some evidence to convince me. What's the point of just talking about it? Even the aura of a celestial emperor was unable to shake the other party's mind. This was unexpected. If Lin Fei's answer was slightly wrong, it would be perfectly justifiable for them to make a move. No one had anything to say, but it would be troublesome if Lin Fei's answer was fluent. This Lin Fei isn't simple. Immortal Dominator Huan gave Zi Li a signal with his eyes. Actually, it was not the time for them to make a move. They felt that Lin Fei was too calm. It was rare for Lin Fei to be able to hold his ground against three celestial emperors. Lin Fei, rumor has it that you're the strongest genius in the Heavenly Academy. Do you dare to fight me? Zi Li was a gentle young man, but he immediately put a big hat on Lin Fei's head. There were many experienced disciples in the Heavenly Academy. No one dared to admit that they were the strongest, or they would be ganged up on. Zi Li's words had a double meaning. Lin Fei threw his head back and burst out laughing. Could it be that you want to challenge me? You should know that once I make a move, I'll kill. I don't care who you are. If you dare to make a move, you'll go to hell. Tyrannical. Despite knowing the other party's background, he still dared to say that he wanted to kill. 10,000 Demon Pagoda! Zi Li was a prideful person. He was the disciple of an elder of the Netherworld Palace. even though Lin Fei said that he didn't care about Zili at all. On the other hand, Zili looked like he could kill Zili by using an immortal artifact. Mid-grade immortal artifact. The moment the 10,000 demon pagoda appeared, dark clouds shrouded the area. The might of a mid-grade immortal artifact caused everyone's expression to change. This disciple of the Nether Palace was bullying the weak by using a mid-rank immortal artifact right off the bat. He was purely acting recklessly, so who could stop him? Lin Fei, aren't you the strongest genius? Block my 10,000 demon pagoda if you can. This 10,000 demon pagoda was temporarily given to him by the elder behind him. Once it was activated, it could suck people into it and refine them into a pool of blood. It was extremely vicious. Li had completely dominated Lin Fei. So what if he had a tyrannical saber intent? He couldn't even withstand a single blow from a true treasure. First Elder, hurry up and save junior brother Lin Fei. While Elder Du Tao was cursing the shamelessness of the Netherworld Palace, he also hoped that First Elder would stop him. The power of a mid-grade immortal artifact was unimaginable. They all knew about the 10,000 demon pagoda. It was a vicious immortal artifact. No matter how strong one's body was, they would be refined by the 10,000 demon pagoda. There's no rush. Even junior brother Lin Fei isn't as anxious as you are. Saint 33 said. Elder Du Tao looked over. It was just as First Elder had said. Junior brother Lin Fei's expression didn't change at all in the face of a mid-grade immortal artifact. It was really abnormal. Could it be that there was a way to deal with this immortal artifact? 10,000 demon pagoda? Ha ha ha, Lin Fei laughed again. 3 heads and 6 arms grew out. His 6 arms were like rainbows that slapped the 10,000 demon pagoda. The 10,000 demon pagoda shook continuously. This 10,000 demon pagoda isn't yours. The power you can display is too limited. It's better to give it to me. Lin Fei could see that the 10,000 demon pagoda's power was limited. It couldn't hurt him at all. The 6 arms kept slapping the 10,000 demon pagoda. Zili, who was controlling the 10,000 demon pagoda, kept vomiting blood. His face instantly turned pale. He was seriously injured. How dare you? The 3 immortal emperors didn't expect that Zili, who had bought a mid-grade immortal artifact like the 10,000 demon pagoda, couldn't do anything to Lin Fei. Moreover, Lin Fei even said that he would take the 10,000 demon pagoda away. The immortal sovereign of Yu, Jiuqian, roared. He opened his mouth and shot out a beam of sword light that was as large as a door plank. It was multicolored and dazzling. All of them were condensed from the energy of the law, exuding a terrifying aura. This sword strike was enough to kill ordinary immortal kings. Even immortal emperors wouldn't dare to underestimate it. Based on this sword, this hidden elder's strength was indeed extraordinary. He was extremely powerful. The immortal emperor made his move. Lin Fei chuckled. Facing the sword, he kept slapping the 10,000 demon pagoda, causing Zili to vomit blood. He acted as if he didn't see it. Ancient saber in Tent World and ancient sword in Tent World rushed out from Lin Fei's body. They formed 2 layers of defense, one in front and one behind, blocking the immortal emperor's attack. The immortal emperor's attack rushed into the ancient saber in Tent World. It was instantly blocked by a large amount of saber intent. Its power was hindered. It rushed into the second ancient sword in Tent World. With only half of its power left, one of Lin Fei's heads moved. It opened its mouth and spat out a sword light, blocking the opponent's sword. My 10,000 demon pagoda! Zili vomited blood. He finally couldn't control the 10,000 demon pagoda. Hee, the mid-grade immortal artifact is mine. The 10,000 demon pagoda landed in Lin Fei's hands, and it struggled furiously, wanting to break free. Lin Fei snorted coldly and hugged it with his 6 arms. He opened the heaven and earth smelt and threw it in, using the heaven and earth god flame to suppress it. Elders 10,000 demon pagoda! The three immortal emperors felt embarrassed when the 10,000 demon pagoda was suppressed. At the same time, they thought of something. Lin Fei had a treasure that could suppress the 10,000 demon pagoda. Lin Fei has extraordinary means. Let's take him down together. I didn't expect this kid to not only have saber intent, but also sword intent. 2 worlds. He formed the Tao of Defense and blocked my attack. Unfortunately, it's not in the Netherworld Palace. Then let's do it! The clothes of the 3 immortal emperors fluttered as they attacked Lin Fei together. Lin Fei, who was in the immortal king realm, was worthy of 3 immortal emperors attacking. Everyone was furious and shocked. What kind of combat strength was this? It was worthy of 3 immortal emperors attacking together. Great Elder, quickly stop them. As soon as the 3 immortal emperors attacked, the elders of the Holy Heaven Academy couldn't sit still. The elders who were originally wavering all fell to Lin Fei's side. Saint 33's face was also full of anger. The 3 elders of the Netherworld Palace were too shameless. They really dared to attack together. Were they bullying the Holy Heaven Academy because there was no one else? Great Elder, you don't have to do it. The 3 of them are still not my match. Let me deal with this little guy. Just as he was about to attack Saint 33, the Great Elder heard Lin Fei's voice transmission. His eyelids twitched. Lin Fei wants to deal with 3 immortal emperors alone? These are great experts who have mastered 50 laws. Why did you say that they are little guys? Are you sure? Saint 33 thought that Lin Fei was very strong, but he didn't expect him to be so strong that he could compete with immortal emperors. Seal. The sky suddenly darkened, and the laws filled the air, making people unable to see the situation inside. Except for the 10th Elder, no one else could see the situation inside. The Great Elder set it up. His strength was still the strongest in the academy. There were many high-level elders present, but they couldn't see through the battle behind the laws. This made them want to know how Lin Fei would deal with the 3 immortal emperors. Chapter 1122. The Grand Elder of the Sagely Heaven Academy personally took action and stopped the battle. Apart from the 10 elders, no one else saw the real situation. When they entered and saw the scene before them, their jaws dropped. Elder Hai Tian, who was the first to oppose Lin Fei, was dumbfounded. Is junior brother Lin Fei going to defy the heavens? At this moment, 3 immortal emperors were attacking Lin Fei at the same time. Majestic law energy and immortal weapons caused the sky to collapse and the earth to crack. Facing the attacks of 3 immortal emperors, the black-robed man in the middle was calm. His 6 thick arms and huge body were like a towering mountain that kept crushing his opponents. This palm is too strong. It's a direct suppression. The strength of this palm should have surpassed us, suppressing them to the point where they couldn't breathe. Ever since the establishment of our Heavenly Academy, there has never been such a disciple. Even the old ancestor Xingtian couldn't fight against 3 immortal emperors when he was at this realm. Rumble! In the sky, the power of the immortal weapons were still lingering. Lin Fei relied on his physical body and powerful divine force to topple mountains and overturn seas. He didn't play tricks with them at all. He threw out one punch after another, meeting their attacks head-on. 3 immortal emperors. Your strength seems to be too weak. Lin Fei threw another punch, tearing apart the attacks of the 3 immortal weapons and facing the 3 immortal emperors. Saber intent and sword intent flew out at the same time. The 2 intents went straight for Immortal Emperor Huan. Immortal Emperor Huan used a gourd, a middle-grade immortal weapon, to block the wave of power. Lin Fei arrived in front of him. His 6 arms pressed down, and a huge wave of divine force surged. PFFF, Immortal Emperor Huan almost couldn't hold the gourd anymore. His blood and qi were in chaos. There's an error in the information. Lin Fei is too strong. Immortal Emperor Huahan had a hard time resisting. He felt bitter in his heart. He couldn't imagine that the ant in his eyes could unleash such powerful combat power. Even with the law energy and the gourd, he couldn't do anything to Lin Fei. Xiao, xiao, xiao. After suppressing the frost immortal monarch, the entire blood shadow tyrant saber flew out and turned into a single saber. It was tyrannical and strong as it chopped down. An even stronger divine energy surged out. The aura of death instantly enveloped the frost immortal emperor. This was the first time he felt something like this after cultivating for so long. The two immortal emperors felt their blood and chi churning. They weren't feeling good either. Seeing this scene, their pupils shrank. Two mid-grade immortal weapons shot out. Resplendent rays of light shone, and the might of the immortal realm was fully displayed. They wanted to stop Lin Fei. Lin Fei ignored them and simply allowed the attacks from the immortal artifacts to descend upon them. A chilling light flashed out, and the two immortal artifacts were sent flying, smashing against the ceiling power. He was sent flying. Impossible. Celestial Emperor Hua Chang's pupils constricted. He unleashed all his abilities in an attempt to stop this saber. You really dare to kill me. Another powerful Emperor-class mystic art was unleashed by immortal Lord Huahan. He was going all out this time. Killing you is like killing a dog. Boom! Divine force gushed down. The giant celestial demons turned into an army of celestial demons. Even the heavens and earth paled in comparison. When Celestial Emperor Huahan encountered the army of celestial demons, his powerful Emperor-class mystic art swept through the army of celestial demons. However, he still couldn't stop Lin Fei's attack. The gourd was filled with cracks and was on the verge of collapsing. Slash! Lin Fei raised a saber and slashed down. The divine saber glowed brilliantly as it passed through the layers of restrictions and slashed at the immortal Emperor Huahan. The immortal armor exploded as the saber slashed at the immortal Emperor Huahan's body. What a powerful saber slash! The power of this slash is at least 50 billion divine dragon force. The Great Elder and the 10 elders were shocked. Even if they were to encounter such a powerful divine force, they would be extremely fearful. Celestial Emperor Huahan is going to die, Saint 33 said indifferently. After this slash, there was no way to stop it. Everyone could see the battle clearly. After Lin Fei executed the tyrant saber, he focused on destroying the immortal Emperor Huahan's physical body. Once the physical body was destroyed, the immortal Emperor Huahan's strength would be greatly affected. If he faced the powerful Lin Fei again, he would definitely die. Celestial Emperor Huahan's body exploded on the spot. The blood shadow tyrant saber slashed over like a heavenly millstone, grinding his flesh and blood, preventing Celestial Emperor Huahan from regenerating his flesh. Fire chill! The blood shadow tyrant saber slashed over, destroying Celestial Emperor Huahan's flesh and blood. The remaining two immortal emperors shouted. The three of them attacked together to deal with Lin Fei, but one of their immortal emperors was killed instead. The crisis of death started to envelop them. You two old fogies, instead of cultivating in seclusion, you came out to court death. This is the first time I've seen people like you. Lin Fei turned around and rushed over. His 6 arms were like 6 divine sabers, slashing out rays of rainbow light. Lin Fei, don't go too far. The 2 elders were both hidden cultivation elders. They were extremely powerful. However, when faced against Lin Fei, they felt as though they were at a loss. Is that so? So close, yet worlds apart. Lin Fei took action instantly, charging in front of Yu Jiutian. He punched out at Yu Jiutian's face, causing blood to splatter everywhere. Following that, more punches rained down on Yu Jiutian. Didn't you want to fight? Fight if you can. Is Netherworld Palace so awesome? I don't think so. One day, I will kill my way to Netherworld Palace and destroy it. I will remove your name from the great metropolis, Celestial World. Lin Fei used both his hands and feet to beat Yu Ju Tian, Immortal Emperor Huahan. Even though Yu Ju Tian, Immortal Emperor Huahan's defense was strong, it didn't take long before Yu Ju Tian, Immortal Emperor Huahan's strength turned into a pig's face. You and I are irreconcilable. Before he could finish his sentence, another fist smashed down, sending him flying. Slash! A vast power, ancient and vast, came from the horizon and blasted Yu Ju Tian, Immortal Emperor Huahan's body, directly blasting him into pieces. What an ancient aura! It seems to be the aura of fate. Is it the divine ability left by the Fate Emperor? This terrifying divine ability shocked them again. In their eyes, Lin Fei had reached this step in such a short time. Even they might not be able to match him in terms of combat strength. Great Elder, we seem to have done something wrong. Elder Hai Tian looked ashamed. With Lin Fei's strength, he might not be able to defeat him. Previously, he wanted to agree to hand over Lin Fei so that the Academy would not be involved in the matter and cause a huge impact. We are also wrong. Among the 10 elders, several of them were in favor of handing over Lin Fei. But now, Lin Fei killed 2 immortal emperors in one breath, and he even used the emperor-level divine ability left by the Fate Emperor. This was a top-notch divine ability, an opportunity that they might not be able to grasp in their lifetime. An immortal king could kill an immortal emperor. What kind of strength was this? Even old ancestor Xingtian was not as strong as Lin Fei. It's time to clean up the academy. Chapter 11:23. 2 immortal emperors dying one after another was a major event. At least the last elder of the Netherworld Palace was so scared that his face turned pale. This result was exactly what he had imagined. 2 of them dying in the blink of an eye. Lin Fei, Holy Heaven Academy, you've killed 2 of our elders. Just wait for the war. The last immortal emperor didn't dare to stay. It was more important to stay alive. Voila, Lin Fei had become a monster in the eyes of this elder. He had to inform the elders of the sect. Otherwise, when they recovered, they would definitely become a strong enemy. The immortal emperor attacked with all his strength. A Jingguang immortal talisman flew out, releasing a powerful aura. Not good. This is an immortal talisman. It can break the spatial seal. The first elder's expression was solemn as he recognized the origin of this thing. He had to stop it. Do you think you can leave? The immortal emperor heaved a sigh of relief when the immortal talisman broke the spatial seal. As long as he brought the news back, the sect would pay attention to it. At that time, Holy Heaven Academy would have to bear the consequences. There was also Lin Fei. A sneer came from above. 6 arms slapped down. Lin Fei, you're dead. You can't kill me. The immortal talisman blocked the first wave of attacks. This immortal talisman was too precious. He couldn't bear to use it unless this was the time. But once he used it, no one could break it. Boom, boom, boom. The immortal talisman wasn't affected at all. It protected the immortal emperor and was about to leave this place. Lin Fei's second wave of attack came. It was still the same 6 arms. But these 6 arms were like 6 gods and devils, crushing everything in their path. His power! Boom, boom, boom. The arms slapped the immortal talisman. Rays of light shot out from the immortal talisman, but it was constantly shattered. It couldn't resist the power of the attack. The color of the immortal talisman kept dimming until it was covered with cracks and completely collapsed. Die. Lin Fei slapped down again. Without the protection of the immortal talisman, he was instantly enveloped by the power and smashed into pieces. Finally done. He killed the immortal emperor quickly. The 10th elder of Holy Heaven Academy came back to his senses. Lin Fei had killed the person. Great elder, since they're here, there's no need to go back. I'll kill them all. Lin Fei wasn't a soft-hearted person. He had already killed the people inside, so he shouldn't let the people outside go. If he let them go, they would be another force to be reckoned with. The people of the Nether Palace should be killed. Elder Haitian said, "Kill." The 10th elder changed his mind. Even they did not think that they could defeat Lin Fei with the power he had displayed at the end. From the moment he killed these 3 immortal emperors, Lin Fei stood on the same level as them. No one in the academy said anything anymore. Not long after, not a single person from the Nether Palace was missing, and all of them were killed. The one who gave the order was the first elder, Saint 33. After killing the people of the Netherworld Palace, there would be a battle sooner or later. The great elder Saint 33 was very clear on what he should do in this matter. The higher-ups of the Nether Palace were completely shocked by the annihilation of the people from the Nether Palace. This was a result that they had not expected. In the main hall, all the high-level elders were present. At this time, the high-level elders all had different expressions. Many of them were worried about how to deal with this matter. Also, were the 3 immortal emperors dead? Who killed them? This is bad. The strength of the Nether Palace has always been above our academy. I'm afraid that there will be a fierce battle soon. It's all Lin Fei's fault. In the crowd, there were still people who didn't welcome Lin Fei. They're here. The 10th elder and the great elder arrived one after another. Everyone quieted down. At this time, no one saw Lin Fei. They couldn't help but be curious. The cause of this matter was Lin Fei. Why didn't Lin Fei come? This wasn't normal. He didn't come? Muao Yin had been killed a few times. He had been staring at someone, but unfortunately that person didn't appear. Great Elder, where's Lin Fei? Someone still asked. Lin Fei has something to do. He can't come. Elder Haitian said indifferently. His gaze swept around and landed on Muao Yin and the other elders. His gaze made them feel cold. After a discussion, the great elder and the 10th elder made some decisions. The academy hadn't cleaned up the higher-ups for a long time. They didn't know what the academy's responsibilities were. This time, they could clean up the internal affairs after Lin Fei's matter. The cleaning up began. Muao Yin and the others were punished. All of them were stripped of their status as elders. At the same time, they were sent to face the wall and announced that they would leave the circle of elders, apart from Muao Yin and the others. Many others were also punished. Of course, Muao Yin wasn't convinced, especially after losing his status as an elder. He had to face the wall and face the wall. It was unimaginable that his status would plummet. Whether they were convinced or not, the great elder and the 10th elder discussed and immediately sent people to take them away. They didn't let them do it themselves. The elders present understood one thing. They could offend anyone in the academy except Lin Fei. It seemed like the great elder and the 10th elder were going to protect Lin Fei. At this time, who would dare to offend Lin Fei? They were still wondering who killed the 3 immortal emperors. If it was Lin Fei, didn't that mean that they couldn't suppress Lin Fei? That was what they were most concerned about. After Lin Fei killed the 3 immortal emperors, he bade farewell to the 10th elder and the great elder. He believed that they would handle the rest. On the invincible peak, dense immortal qi covered the sky and became the place with the densest immortal qi in the academy. Originally, this place wasn't very eye-catching in the past, but now it was unknown how many people wanted to join it. Those servants were all existences that everyone envied. Hubby. When Lin Fei returned, the peak became lively. Lin Jiqing, Nangong Qianchan, Jin Feng, and Qing Wan all came out. When he wasn't around, they went into seclusion to cultivate. With the guidance of famous teachers, their cultivation improved tremendously. They entered the Xian immortal realm one after another. Among them, the fastest was Lin Jiqing. Her cultivation had reached the late Xian immortal stage. Her combat power increased tremendously. Nangong Qianchan, Jin Feng, and Qing Wan were all in the early Xian immortal realm. That night, Lin Fei had to sleep with them. To prevent his daughter from barging in, he set up an array formation. It was a night of spring. It was great. In the morning, Elder Du Tao came and told him about what happened yesterday. Even though he didn't say it, Lin Fei could imagine it. Sigh. Elder Mu and the rest are making things difficult for themselves. Elder Du Tao didn't want to see this. In fact, he knew that it was a form of protection. If this continued, they would be killed by Lin Fei sooner or later. It was for their own good to face the wall now. After a certain period of time, when Lin Fei reached a certain level, he wouldn't care about this anymore. Not long after Elder Du Tao finished speaking, someone came to report. Chapter 11:24. I didn't expect this to happen. Hearing the news, Elder Du Tao fell silent. He couldn't believe that they would betray the academy just like that. They were elders and high-ranking ones at that. Was it really necessary for them to do this for Lin Fei? Could it be that they were still elders? Aren't they being guarded? How did they get out? Lin Fei felt that it was right. It shouldn't be that easy to betray the academy. Although he had never been to that place, Lin Fei had heard that there were high-ranking elders guarding that place. Normally, once someone entered, they wouldn't be able to get out. Mu Yin and the others had gone in. They couldn't believe that they had come out so easily. There was an 80 to 90% chance that there was something fishy going on. Either something had happened, or something had happened. Only then could it be explained. Someone attacked and injured Elder Valley. He took Mu Yin and the rest away, Elder Du Tao said. Could it be an expert from the Nether Palace? For now, I am not too sure. You have to be careful. Although our academy is not a dragon's lair or a tiger's den, it is not a place that ordinary people can barge in. That person was able to sneak in silently and make Mu Yin and the others betray him. Lin Fei nodded, indicating that he understood. Elder Du Tao didn't sit for long before he left. With this kind of thing happening, it was as if a layer of dark clouds had once again shrouded the academy's skies, making him feel uneasy. These shameless fellows. If I had known this would happen, I would have killed them yesterday. That would have put an end to all troubles, and this wouldn't have happened. After sending Du Tao off, Lin Fei rubbed his chin and thought. Mu Yin and the rest were high-ranking elders, but they were instigated to leave. This showed that the culprit was not simple. He might be an extremely powerful person. Killing them would save me a lot of trouble. Luckily, I brought a bunch of demon gods back. Lin Fei came to a secret chamber at the bottom of the Invincible Peak. It was specially set up. Hubby, you're so mysterious. What are you trying to do? Apart from Lin Fei, there were other people in the secret chamber. They were all beauties. As their cultivation increased, they became more and more beautiful. Yeah, there doesn't seem to be anything good in this secret chamber. Qing Wan's personality was the same as before. She spoke softly. They all knew this place well. Hee, let me show you something good. Lin Fei opened up the heaven and earth smelt and let everyone out. When the demonic gods walked out one by one, their imposing aura shook the formation. If not for the fact that Lin Fei had rearranged the formation, just the imposing aura of these demonic gods would be enough to cause chaos in the Elysium School. Every devil god here was as strong as the 3 immortal emperors of the Netherworld Palace. The Black Mountain demonic god was especially powerful. Greetings, master and mistress. The moment these demon gods came out, they immediately retracted their auras and greeted respectfully. This wasn't Lin Jiqing's first time here. She had seen quite a number of the upper echelons and elders and had seen a lot of things. However, this was the first time she had seen dozens of fiend celestials. Furthermore, they were calling her mistress. Husband, what are they doing? These women could imagine how powerful these fiend celestials were. They were much more ferocious than their college's upper echelon elders. They are all my servants. Lin Fei laughed. Servant. This time, the 3 women, including Lin Jiqing, were scared out of their wits. Servants? Their husband went out for a trip and brought back more than 60 fiend celestial servants. This was simply unbelievable. The strength of the fiend celestials was tyrannical and terrifying. Greetings, mistress. The fiend celestials greeted again. This time, they finally believed that their husband was right. These fiend celestials listened to their husband's orders. They immediately understood why they came to the secret chamber. The word mistress made them enjoy it for once. The Elysium School isn't very safe these days. I'm going to arrange for the fiend celestials to be by your side. No matter who comes, they will die. After last night's incident, Lin Fei became vigilant. If they could injure the elder guarding the valley, it was obvious that they were powerful. If they attacked his women, the consequences would be unimaginable. Therefore, Lin Fei had to pay great attention to this matter. With these fiend celestials, Lin Fei was relieved. No matter who it was, with these fiend celestials, they would be able to catch them off guard, and they would have less to worry about. Lin Fei believed that no matter who it was, Mu Out-yin and the rest would go to the Netherworld Palace. At that time, it would be hard to guarantee that they wouldn't have experts for his women. The ones sent would definitely be experts. The Netherworld Palace would definitely vomit blood if they could annihilate all of them. Ji-Ching, bring 5 fiend celestials with you. They have concealed their aura. No one will be able to see their strength, except for the Immortal Emperor and Demon Emperor. With them around, I can be at ease. The few people in the Elysium School could enjoy such a generous arrangement. A Xian immortal with 5 fiend celestials. This was a huge trap. Lin Ji-Ching was a smart woman. She chuckled. Husband, you are so sinister. This is a trap with no exit. Whoever comes will fall for it. The other beauties immediately understood what was going on and started giggling. Oh, right, Xiao Lele needs to be arranged too. On the other side, all right, we will help you get revenge. Men, bring them down and settle them down. In the Netherworld Palace, the great elder of the Netherworld Palace personally received them. Many of Mu Out-Yin's elders were defeated this time. It was most appropriate for the great elder of the Netherworld Palace to receive them. Such a force could also be considered a great force. The Netherworld Palace cared a lot. It was necessary to settle them down. Great elder, I have a few words to say about Lin Fei. Mu Out-Yin wasn't in a hurry to leave. In fact, he didn't expect that he would lose everything because of a small matter. Mu Out-Yin couldn't let go of this matter. The elders who were familiar with him chose to stay silent and didn't help him. Mu Out-Yin still had a lot of resentment towards them. He had sweated and bled for the Elysium Academy. In the end, he ended up like this. He couldn't accept it. All of this was caused by Lin Fei. If it wasn't for Lin Fei, he would still be an elder in the upper echelon, holding power and having a say in the academy. But after what happened, he completely lost it. Mu Out-Yin thought that it was all caused by Lin Fei. Last night, when the mysterious man attacked, Mu Out-Yin was determined and chose to betray the Netherworld Palace. He knew very well that Lin Fei had killed him in one move, so he couldn't take revenge. If he wanted to take revenge on Lin Fei, he had to borrow power, which had to be great enough to deal with Lin Fei. The Netherworld Palace was the best choice. Mu Out-Yin came with his men. Speak? The Nether Palace's great elder furrowed his brows. The death of 3 secluded elders still made him furious. This kind of hidden elder was very strong. The death of one was a loss. It had been a long time since the Netherworld Palace had lost 3 of them. I believe that the death of the 3 elders was caused by Lin Fei, because Lin Fei's strength should have reached the level of an immortal emperor. Even if he hasn't reached that level yet, he should be close to it. Great elder, if you want to attack Lin Fei, you have to be careful, lest you fall into a trap. Mu Out-Yin was not a fool. The 3 immortal emperors must have some ulterior motives against Lin Fei. The great elder of the Netherworld Palace frowned again. Suspected to have the strength of an immortal emperor? All right, I understand. You can go and have a rest. The great elder waved his hand and asked his men to bring them away. After they left, an elder said, Mu Outyen's words can't be trusted. Lin Fei's strength has improved very fast. It's impossible for him to reach this level in such a short period of time. I believe the 3 elders must have been killed by Saint 33. Saint 33 definitely has the strength to do so. We didn't catch Lin Fei, and we lost 3 elders first. We have to make them pay. These elders were very angry. The Netherworld Palace had suffered a huge loss in dealing with Lin Fei. Not only had they lost 3 elders, but they had also lost a few talented disciples. This was like losing one's wife and 1 soldiers. Lin Fei had become a thorn in their side, and they wanted to get rid of him immediately. The great elder of the Netherworld Palace had not expected that the first time he made a move would end up like this. The loss was not small either. It was hard to imagine. Lin Fei is not easy to deal with. Regardless of whether Lin Fei had the strength to do so, they had to take this matter seriously. They are not happy. We have to deal with Lin Fei quickly. The great elder of the Netherworld Palace said. His face was very solemn when he talked about the other side. They could not afford to offend a huge force like the hidden dragon world. Why don't we arrange for a few celestial emperors to ambush Lin Fei, and then arrange for some experts to attack his woman? It's best if we can kill her. Then Lin Fei will definitely come to us because he's young and impetuous. With these 2 methods, even if Lin Fei doesn't die, he will come to us personally. A withered old man walked out. This old man was Zili's master. His disciple was dead, and as the master, he was naturally angry. The elders thought about it and felt that this method was feasible. It would be best if they could ambush Lin Fei. Even if they could not, they could test Lin Fei's strength. The second method was very reasonable. A person like Lin Fei was young and powerful. He would not be able to withstand stimulation. Once he was provoked, he would definitely do something shocking. It would be best if Lin Fei rushed to the Netherworld Palace. Once he reached the Netherworld Palace, he would not be able to leave. With the experts of the Netherworld Palace, even if there were 100 of Lin Fei, he would still stay in the Netherworld Palace and become one of the skeletons. The great elder of the Netherworld Palace also felt that this method was feasible. Then let's do it. We can't let the other side be unhappy. Apart from this matter, they were more anxious to take down Lin Fei than to continue dragging it out. This time, they formed a grand lineup to deal a devastating blow to Lin Fei. It would be best if they could finish him off in one go to avoid further trouble. Chapter 11:25. I'm back. It was a dark and windy night. Mu Outyen had returned with his men. This time his emotions were much more complicated, and his identity was completely different. Before this, he was an elder of the school, but this time he was an elder of the Netherworld Palace. Although his identity was high, it was still complicated for Mu Outyen. If it wasn't for Lin Fei, he wouldn't have betrayed the Netherworld Palace. Lin Fei, you must want to know that I'll be back in person one day. Mu Outyen's gaze flickered as he looked at the Holy Heaven Academy. No one knew better than him that if he settled the matter tonight, he would have a place in the Netherworld Palace, and there would be someone like him in the future. Powerful forces like the Netherworld Palace had internal strife. They were from the Holy Heaven Academy, and if they wanted to gain a foothold in the Academy, they had to make contributions. Killing Lin Fei was one of the greatest achievements he had made. Elder Mu, you're an elder of the Holy Heaven Academy. Please lead the way. Zili's master, Centurion Immortal Emperor, said with a murderous look on his face. The formation outside the Holy Heaven Academy has been activated. We don't have to worry about being surrounded. If we want to kill Lin Fei, we have to do it at the crucial moment. The Netherworld Palace had put in a lot of effort this time. In order to kill Lin Fei, including his wife and daughter, they had arranged for a total of 15 immortal emperors, and all of them were elites. They've activated the formation. To me, it's still a piece of cake to enter. Mu Outyen knew about formations. not to mention the Holy Heaven Academy's formation. Everyone, follow me. Hua hua hua, Mu Outyen found a place, avoided the densely packed arrays of the Holy Heaven Academy, and successfully entered the academy. Elders, Lin Fei is at this position. Everyone remembered Lin Fei's information clearly. To be at ease, Mu Outyen caught a disciple to confirm where Lin Fei was, so that they wouldn't end up empty-handed. He's on the invincible peak. Mu Outyen laughed, and so did the other elders. Fine, as long as it's on the mountain peak, it's fine. The Bai Shi Immortal Emperor sneered. Since you killed this old man's disciple, this old man must kill you. Another elder stepped forward. I've brought the Heaven Trap formation with me. As long as I set it up, not even Saint 33 will be able to detect it for some time. The elder was an expert in formations. Everyone, let's go now. The 15 elders were all powerful immortal emperors. Under their concealment, no one in the Holy Heaven Academy would be able to sense it. Soon, they arrived at the Invincible Peak. The sky above the Invincible Peak was quiet. The formation expert broke through the Invincible Peak's formation easily. It's just a small formation. Tonight, Lin Fei will definitely die. After he entered, he set up a formation in the air, covering the entire Invincible Peak. No aura could leak out. All right, we can start now. The Bai Shi Immortal Emperor was an experienced elder, and he was the one leading the team. Lin Fei has hidden his strength well. Regardless of whether the 3 immortal emperors died in his hands, we have to kill him in one strike. I'm afraid Saint 33's strength has reached an extremely high level. Killing Lin Fei is our only chance. If we miss it, God knows when we will be able to kill Lin Fei again, the Bai Shi Immortal Emperor said. The other immortal emperors nodded. If not for the fact that Lin Fei was too important, they would definitely not attack together to deal with Lin Fei. Elder Mu, bring your men to kill Lin Fei's women. It's best if none of them are left alive. Mu Outyen was not satisfied, but he did not dare to say anything on this matter. All right, after the arrangements were made, the Bai Shi Immortal Emperor left with the 7 immortal emperors in a palace on the Invincible Peak. What's going on? I've been feeling uneasy tonight. Lin Fei, who was sitting cross-legged, had an uneasy expression on his face. Something's going to happen tonight. When one's strength reached the Immortal King realm, he could sense many things. Lin Fei had reached the Immortal King realm. The restlessness at night had never stopped. This is the Elysium Academy. Did someone sneak in just to deal with me? As soon as Lin Fei finished his thoughts, he felt a dangerous aura coming from behind him. A gigantic palm flew out from the void, filled with an aura of decay. The palm landed on Lin Fei's back, causing him to cough up a few mouthfuls of blood. Lin Fei, how dare you kill the elder of the Netherworld Palace? Tonight will be the day you die. Not everyone dares to offend the Netherworld Palace. The immortal emperors launched powerful attacks and coordinated with each other. Their attacks shook the heavens and earth. Their attacks landed on Lin Fei's body, continuously, causing him to cough up blood. The 7 immortal emperors attacked at the same time. Even if they did not use their emperor-class mystic abilities, they could kill whoever they wanted. He's not dead? What a strong body! Lin Fei's body shone brightly, and his immortal force was constantly recovering his body. I was wondering why it's not peaceful tonight. It's because of you little bugs. Lin Fei was bathed in blood. The powerful attack of the 7 celestial lords had caused him to suffer serious injuries. If it wasn't for his strong body, his body would have exploded on the spot. Lin Fei, you still dare to boast shamelessly when your death is near. The Centurion Immortal Emperor sneered. If you want to count on Saint 33, don't even think about it. Your wife and daughter will die tonight. Lin Fei released his tyrannical divine sense and saw a few palaces. The Immortal Emperor's aura was rippling. His face sank. You guys are really shameless. Kill. The 7 immortal emperors did not stop. All kinds of mystic abilities, formed by a large amount of law power, were infinitely terrifying, comparable to those emperor-class mystic abilities. Lin Fei, you should have known this day would come when you killed my disciple, Deadwood Ice Palm. The Centurion Immortal Emperor slapped with his palm, forming a huge vortex. The cold air froze all the power in the void. This was an emperor-class mystic ability. 7 immortal emperors, the Nether Palace is good. But unfortunately, you came to the wrong place. You shouldn't have come to my territory. Whoosh! Lin Fei's divine power surged into the sky as he slammed his palm into the black whirlpool. His divine power palm pushed out horizontally, and wherever it passed, nothing could stop it. The black whirlpool instantly shattered. At this moment, Lin Fei's long hair fluttered as he exerted his full strength. He destroyed the opponent's emperor-class mystic ability with one palm. The monstrous divine power surged like a torrent and poured down mercilessly, instantly drowning the Centurion Immortal Emperor. No matter how he attacked, after the torrent washed away, only a skeleton was left. 18 incarnations, plus the divine power of his main body. The divine power in Lin Fei's body reached the Dragon Monarch level, almost reaching 100 billion dragon divine power. Divine power runes filled the sky in the torrent of divine power, crushing all living creatures. Chapter 11:26. Wait till this elder gets rid of Lin Fei's women. Lin Fei better not die. This elder will make him wish he was dead. Muao Tian wasn't in a good mood. He wasn't involved in such a huge matter. Now he had to deal with a few Xian immortal women. The anger in his heart was too great. Muao Tian barged into one of the palaces. He remembered that this was where a woman called Lin Jiqing lived. Who are you? Who allowed you to enter? Muao Tian and another celestial emperor came. They swept all the opponents and saw a beautiful woman. This beautiful woman was Lin Jiqing. After hearing the commotion, Lin Jiqing woke up immediately. She saw someone barging in, emitting a powerful aura that pressed down on her. Lin Fei's women are so beautiful. Unfortunately, you are going to die like this. Muao Tian shook his head as a greedy look flashed across his eyes. It's you. Lin Jiqing recognized him. Hee, so what if you recognize me? I am not from the academy. Muao Tian sneered. All of this was done by your man. Today I am going to kill you. I believe that bastard Lin Fei will be very happy when he sees this. Lin Jiqing smiled like spring. I believe that my man will be very happy when you return. Just a Xian immortal. This elder really doesn't want to kill you. Before Muao Tian finished, 2 celestial emperors charged out. They were covered in blood and looked miserable. It was like they had encountered a terrifying existence. Leave quickly. We have fallen into their trap. Hong, hong, hong. Behind the 2 immortal emperors, powerful fiend celestials rushed in one after another. Their divine abilities were matchless as they attacked. Damn, they are all demons. They weren't surprised when the first demon appeared. But when the number reached 10, their scalp went numb. They couldn't imagine why there were demons in Holy Heaven Academy. More importantly, these god fiends were all very strong, no weaker than them. Some of them were even stronger than them, to the point where even they couldn't deal with them. Xiao, there were too many demons. After 30 demons appeared, they blocked all paths of retreat. With all their escape routes sealed, Muao Tian and the others lost their chance to escape. Impossible! Divine demons don't exist in the Holy Heaven Academy. Damn it, where did these gods and demons come from? The remaining immortal sovereigns focused their anger on Muao Tian. Their eyes were filled with the desire to kill Muao Tian. The 2 immortal emperors had yet to recover from their shock. Their goal was actually to kill a little girl. But the moment they made their move, 10 god fiends appeared. These gods and devils were so powerful that they caught them off guard and killed a few immortal emperors on the spot. If it wasn't for them desperately defending, they might not have been able to escape. After hearing this, their hearts turned cold. Kill her! Mu Outyen's pupils contracted. Without saying a word, he charged toward Lin Jiqing. Only by holding this woman hostage would he have a chance to leave this place. Before the killer move arrived, 5 demonic gods appeared in front of Lin Jiqing and blocked the attack. They were like 5 huge mountains that Lin Jiqing could not cross. Mistress, kill them or suppress them. The strongest fiend celestial turned around and said, the immortal emperor of the Netherworld Palace was dumbfounded. A powerful fiend celestial called a mystic immortal woman as his mistress. What a joke! Since when were fiend celestials so worthless? Kill all the immortal emperors of the Netherworld Palace. They are husband's enemies. Don't leave them alive. As for this elder, suppress him. Lin Jiqing said. A mystic immortal woman was judging their lives at this moment. The immortal emperor of the Netherworld Palace felt like he had been slapped in the face. How dare you offend master? All of you deserve to die. The powerful fiend celestial rushed out and swept over with his divine ability. Mu Outyen's expression changed drastically. He also used his divine ability and crushed it into pieces upon contact. Too strong. This fiend celestial was naturally the Black Mountain Fiend Celestial, a capable general in the past. A large group of fiend celestials charged in. Except for a few guards, all of them charged in. The immortal emperor of the Netherworld Palace's face was pale. He blocked one side, while the other side charged over, causing them to vomit blood. They had never thought that such a powerful fiend celestial would be beside a few inconspicuous women. How could they digest this news? If they had known earlier, they wouldn't have come over even if they were beaten to death. It was too tragic. Lin Jiqing and the other sisters' eyes were cold. Fortunately, we have the fiend celestial that husband left behind. Otherwise, they would have succeeded this time, Jinfeng said. I also didn't expect that the high and mighty immortal emperor would fall in front of us. Lin Jiqing chuckled. I believe that the upper echelons of the Netherworld Palace hate our husband to the bone. They were all mystic immortals. A powerful mission like the immortal emperor was too far for them. Don't kill us. We surrender. Lin Jiqing was determined and wouldn't show mercy. She ordered the Black Mountain Fiend Celestial to kill without mercy. Since the people of the Netherworld Palace were here, they had to be prepared. It's over, it's all over. The few immortal emperors encountered the ferocious fiend celestials and were killed in a short while. They were really not on the same level. Mu Outyen was suppressed. The 3 fiend celestials couldn't move at all. Mu Outyen knew that he was finished when he saw them die. No matter what the outcome was, he would definitely die. When Mu Outyen came, he was in high spirits and wanted to give Lin Fei an unforgettable memory. But now he seemed to have aged a few decades. Monster. Devil, he is a devil. On the other side, there were only 2 immortal emperors left. The black-robed, long-haired young man was like a deity. He walked over step by step. The mystic arts that they used were like toys in front of him. Lin Fei's divine power was like a torrent pushing over and suppressing the mystic arts. An expert at the immortal emperor level didn't pose much of a threat to Lin Fei. Even an immortal emperor couldn't take it when he used his divine power. Bang bang, the 2 immortal emperors' physical bodies were broken. Lin Fei slapped with his palm and a torrent of divine power surged up. Since you are here, don't leave. Lin Fei's divine power was too strong. A saber light of destiny swept over and slashed their bodies. The power of destiny wiped out their primordial spirits and physical bodies. Another 2 immortal emperors died. 7 immortal emperors came to deal with me. How generous! Lin Fei withdrew his divine power, and the injuries on his body instantly healed. Lin Fei wasn't too worried about women. With the protection of the Fiend Celestials, they wouldn't be able to do anything. He didn't even need to think about what would happen to them. This Netherworld Palace keeps coming again and again. Why? I have to figure this out. Lin Fei touched his chin. If he didn't figure this out, he would feel uneasy. Chapter 11:27. Just like that, the sneak attack by the Nether Palace was completely ruined. Outrageous. Nether Palace's people are too much. They're simply looking down on our Holy Heaven Academy. Saint 33, the Great Elder, flew into a rage. As mentioned earlier, Nether Palace had arranged for all the experts in array formations to deal with Lin Fei. When they attacked, they set up an array formation that concealed their auras. Even Saint 33, the Great Elder, only sensed it after the attack. Great Elder, you don't have to be so angry. Lin Fei wasn't that angry about this matter. At the very least, Nether Palace had sent him equipment and EXP. Normally, he wouldn't come across such a good thing. Lin Fei couldn't wait for Nether Palace to come to him a few more times. Every time they came, he would deal with them. If Nether Palace came to him 8 or 10 times, he would most likely be helpless. Husband, are you all right? Saint 33, the Great Elder, tore open the array formation and charged directly at Lin Fei. He didn't care about anything else. Demonic gods, powerful auras surged over. Saint 33 remembered that he seemed to have overlooked something. Junior brother Lin Fei's women. Nether Palace had made a move. Not only would they deal with Lin Fei, but they would also deal with Lin Fei's women. However, when he saw the demonic gods, he finally understood. Junior brother Lin Fei, these demonic gods? The Great Elder scanned them with his divine sense. In reality, he knew the strength of the demonic gods. His heart was in turmoil. He simply couldn't imagine how so many demonic gods could appear at once. Some of the demonic gods were filled with ancient auras. These must be ancient demonic gods. These are Junior Brother's servants. Lin Fei said with a smile. If it weren't for them, we would have been in trouble tonight. Lin Jiqing came with her people. Seeing that their husband was safe, they heaved a sigh of relief. It would be a lie to say that they weren't worried. Those were immortal emperors. They had mobilized 7 immortal emperors at once, and they were all elder-level figures in Nether Palace. Saint 33 didn't continue asking. Just by looking at these powerful, demonic gods, Saint 33 knew that no one in the entire Holy Heaven Academy could reach this level. He was at the Immortal King realm and had a group of demon gods under him. Saint 33 rejoiced that Lin Fei belonged to their academy. If this news were to spread, it would definitely cause a huge uproar. Husband, it's all this guy's doing. Mu Outyen was brought over. With the suppression of the demonic god, Mu Outyen could not escape at all. He hung his head dejectedly, feeling disheartened. In the end, he still lost to Lin Fei. Lin Fei narrowed his eyes. Elder Mu, we meet again. These words were like a slap to Mu Outyen's face. Lin Fei, it's all your fault. If it weren't for you, I wouldn't be here today. As soon as Mu Outyen saw Lin Fei, he jumped to his feet, bearing his fangs and claws. Even now, Mu Outyen was still unwilling to accept that he couldn't defeat a small country bumpkin, which was why he had come to this venue. Enough! Saint 33's expression was unsightly. His original intention was to protect Mu Outyen, but in the end he betrayed them. This was a slap to the face of the Great Elder. Tonight, he even brought people to sneak into the Holy Heaven Academy to ambush Lin Fei and his woman. If anything were to happen, Saint 33 was well aware of what Lin Fei would do based on his character. It was very normal for him to kill his way into the Netherworld Palace alone. Ha 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 ha. Mu Outyen laughed sinisterly. Great Elder, you don't have to protect Lin Fei anymore. Our ambush tonight failed, but the Netherworld Palace will make another move in the future, until the day Lin Fei dies. I wonder if the Great Elder can protect him until that day. Saint 33 raised his palm, wanting to kill Mu Outyen with a single palm. In the end, he was stopped by Lin Fei. Junior brother Lin Fei, this kind of person doesn't know how to repent even now. We might as well kill him with a single palm. Isn't the great elder curious about why Elder Mu said that? That's easy. I'll use my divine ability to retrieve his memories, and I'll be able to see everything clearly. Saint 33 waved his hand, and Mu Out Yin moved. Not long after, Saint 33's expression turned grave. Ha ha ha, so what if you see it? Lin Fei is destined to die. Mu Out Yin shouted again. Lin Fei didn't ask. He could imagine what it was. The Netherworld Palace wouldn't target him for no reason, so there must be a reason. There's a great force that wants to target you, and the Netherworld Palace is a knife in their hand. This was indeed big news for the Holy Heaven Academy. No wonder the Netherworld Palace was so crazy and didn't hesitate to start a war to force the Academy to hand over Lin Fei. More importantly, the force that could command the Netherworld Palace must be from another world. Apart from them, no one else could do it. After Mu Out Yin became an elder, he carefully probed. Finally, he found out that the Netherworld Palace was so anxious because they were doing something for a great force. He didn't know the name of this force, but it was a great one. It was certain that the Netherworld Palace wanted to kill Lin Fei at all costs. Mu Out Yin didn't doubt the authenticity of the news at all. How do you plan to deal with Mu Out Yin? Lin Fei said. Elder Mu is a member of the Academy. Let's let the great elder do it. He's nothing in my eyes. From the beginning, Lin Fei didn't consider Mu Out Yin as an opponent because Mu Out Yin wasn't qualified to be his opponent. Don't mention it now. Mu Out Yin, you invited a wolf into the house. You deserve to die. Saint 33 raised his hand and pressed down. A powerful force pressed on Mu Out Yin's body, and Mu Out Yin was directly killed. With such a person in the Academy, Saint 33 really couldn't stand it anymore. Lin Fei smiled. They're all dead, all dead. When the corpses of the 15 immortal emperors were sent to the Netherworld Palace, the higher-ups of the Netherworld Palace were in an uproar. All that was left of the 15 corpses were white bones. Since they had reached the immortal emperor realm, their bones wouldn't break easily, so they were perfectly preserved. These corpses were all immortal emperors when they were alive, but now they were just bones. This was a huge blow to the Netherworld Palace. They thought that the sneak attack was feasible, but it was a complete failure. Last time, they lost 3 immortal emperors, and this time, they lost 15 immortal emperors. This was a huge slap to the Netherworld Palace's face, and it hurt. It could be said that none of them had experienced such a thing before. Great Elder, let's fight. Saint 33 must be trying to protect Lin Fei. Maybe he's the one who did it this time. I already said that Mu Out Yin and the others can't be trusted. It was a good sneak attack, but they lost 15 immortal emperors. In any sect, immortal emperors were always the most precious. If one died, they could be nurtured. But if 15 immortal emperors died, the situation would be completely different. No one dared to imagine it. The higher-ups and elders discussed. Chapter 11:28. Just when everyone was wondering why the Nether Palace would make a move, an even bigger piece of news came. The great elder of the Nether Palace had appeared, bringing a group of immortal emperors to the Elysium Academy. At first, some people doubted the news, but when a group of immortal emperors arrived, everyone believed it to be true. The great elder of the Nether Palace had arrived. Everyone knew about the great elder of the Netherworld Palace. He was a ferocious existence in the past, and he eventually became the great elder. Under normal circumstances, the great elder would be cultivating in seclusion. It was said that he hadn't shown himself for a long time. This time, the great elder personally went to the Elysium Academy for Lin Fei. This was definitely a huge matter in the great metropolis realm. As such, everyone was curious about what Lin Fei from the Holy Heaven Academy had done to make the great elder of the Netherworld Palace take action. It was simply unimaginable. The Nether Palace set out on a huge black warship. It was incomparably domineering. Wherever it passed, everyone would scramble to avoid it. They're here. The people of the Nether Palace are here. They're still as domineering as ever. I heard that not only did the great elder personally come for Lin Fei, but he also brought 100 immortal emperors with him. Each of them is extremely powerful. Of course, even though the Elysium Academy is one of the 4 great academies, it's far weaker than the Nether Palace. The major forces of the great metropolis realm had arrived outside the Elysium Academy. They would definitely come personally for this kind of matter. The Elysium Academy was filled with geniuses. If the Nether Palace was willing to start a war for a single Lin Fei, they would definitely interfere and reap some benefits. The Elysium Academy was founded by the Saint Sky Immortal Emperor, so there would definitely be many treasures left behind. Everyone was aware of the temptation. A warship flew across the sky. A huge pressure shrouded the sky above everyone. Anyone with a discerning eye could tell that the warship was extraordinary. It was at least a high-rank immortal artifact. Immortal Emperor Traceless. It's been a long time. The immortal emperors went up to greet him. Traceless, Netherworld, nodded slightly, giving them face. Saint 33, your old friend is here. Aren't you going to welcome him? Standing at the bow of the ship, Traceless Nether's voice reverberated in the sky above the Holy Heaven Academy. In the sky above the Elysium Academy, a figure appeared. The celestial chi below transformed into a hand and lifted him up, meeting the gazes of the crowd. Long time no see, Traceless Nether. Saint 33 and Traceless Hades were influential figures of the same era. One of them became the Great Elder of the Holy Heaven Academy, while the other became the Great Elder of the Nether Palace. Of course, the 2 of them had been fighting nonstop all the way until now. For the sake of Lin Fei, they met again. We probably haven't seen each other in 3,000 years, right? Time really flies. Everyone is old now. Now it's the world of the younger generation. Saint 33 laughed along. We are old. In the future, we will be the younger generation. Back then, we were the experts of the younger generation. In the blink of an eye, we have become old men. When the 2 of them met, there was no anger in their voices, but everyone knew that they were just reminiscing about the past. In fact, they were trying to be polite before resorting to force. The Nether Palace had come in a threatening manner. Today there must be a result. Moreover, the Nether Palace had brought 100 powerful immortal emperors. These immortal emperors were already very powerful in a one-on-one fight. If they had a formation, their strength would increase by a dozen times. They would definitely be able to sweep away all the experts. When a person's strength reached the limit, they would not be as powerful as the formation. When 100 immortal emperors formed a formation, their strength would be unimaginable. This kind of formation had always been a secret of the sect. The Nether Palace happened to have such a secret. The goal of the 100 immortal emperors was obvious. Unless the Holy Heaven Academy had the confidence to suppress the formation formed by the 100 immortal emperors, the Holy Heaven Academy would definitely suffer a loss today. Is that the Great Elder of the Nether Palace, Traceless Hades? Lin Fei raised his head, and his gaze fell on Traceless Hades. He felt that the other party was like a mountain that he could not see through. This is a very powerful guy. Although this guy doesn't cultivate divine power, the divine power he exerts can reach the strength of 100 billion dragons. I wonder if I can fight him with the Divine Court Throne. The Divine Court Throne of the Divine Dragon World was a kind of limit where one's strength had reached the limit. If it wasn't for the trip to the deity's pool, Lin Fei would not have been able to condense it. As long as he took out the Divine Court Throne, Lin Fei was confident that he could withstand the attack of the Great Elder of the Nether Palace. Based on this strength, Lin Fei suspected that the Great Elder of the Nether Palace had reached the peak of his strength. He might even be able to step into the Immortal Emperor realm and become an Immortal Emperor. Someone that could make Lin Fei feel powerful. At least a half-step Immortal Emperor. This Traceless Hades must be a terrifying half-step Immortal Emperor. I'm not far from him. It won't take long for me to surpass the Great Elder of the Nether Palace. At that time, I must uproot the Nether Palace. In the sky, the two of them reminisced for a long time. 33, you know why I'm here. Hand over Lin Fei, and I can let bygones be bygones. It was finally the main topic. Hand over Lin Fei. Saint 33 said, "What if I don't hand him over?" Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. 100 immortal emperors flew out and appeared behind traceless Hades. He waved his hand and pointed. "If you don't hand over Lin Fei, my people will sweep through the Divine Heaven Academy. Even if your Divine Heaven Academy is enveloped by the formation, you won't be able to withstand the joint attack of 100 immortal emperors. For the sake of unnecessary casualties, hand over Lin Fei. Hand over Lin Fei and sweep through the Divine Heaven Academy. Hand over Lin Fei and sweep through the Divine Heaven Academy." 100 immortal emperors echoed in the sky above the Divine Heaven Academy. Those with low strength were shaken to the point that their blood and chi were in turmoil. They felt extremely uncomfortable and fell from the sky. Saint 33 faced the sky and laughed. 100 immortal emperors, so scary. Do you think that I, Saint, will hand over Lin Fei? I haven't fought for 3,000 years. I really want to see if you've grown any stronger in these 3,000 years. Boom! Saint 33 didn't say a word and sent out a palm. In an instant, the sky turned dark and the earth turned dark. What a great elder! He hid his strength so deeply, as expected of the personal disciple of the Divine Heaven Old Ancestor. His moves are extraordinary. After 3,000 years, we've almost forgotten about Saint 33. Many of the onlookers were people from that era. Now, they all sucked in a breath of cold air. Saint 33's strength was much stronger than before. A casual attack of his contained a divine ability. It wasn't something that they could withstand. The traceless Nether punched out majestically and said with a smile, 33, we couldn't determine a victor back then. Let's do it again today. However, your Divine Heaven Academy is destined to be littered with corpses today. Boom! The Black Warship was a high-grade immortal artifact. Traceless Hades grabbed it, and the huge warship crashed into the Divine Heaven Academy's formation. The huge formation shook and a huge hole was opened. Kill! The high-grade immortal artifact warship's luster dimmed a lot. This attack consumed a lot of energy to break the Divine Heaven Academy's formation. The 100 immortal emperors formed a formation and summoned a terrifying god of bones. The god of bones wielded a white bone spear and once again attacked the Divine Heaven Academy's formation. 100 immortal emperors are too powerful to summon the god of bones. Rumor has it that the Netherworld Palace obtained the secret inheritance of the god of bones. Summoning the god of bones is one of them. The Divine Heaven Academy is really going to suffer this time. Chapter 11:29. 100 immortal emperors formed a powerful formation, looking down on everything in their path. The white bone god was going to completely destroy the Holy Heaven Academy. The white bone god punched towards the Holy Heaven Academy. The phantom of the white bone god soared across the sky, wanting to completely destroy the Holy Heaven Academy. The Nether Palace had made up their mind. Brother Saint, it's not too late to hand over Lin Fei. I can ask them to stop. Saint 33 and Traceless Hades were both experts. The battle between the two was earth-shattering. At their level, it was extremely difficult to determine a winner. Impossible. Lin Fei is a disciple of our academy. No matter who it is, we will not hand him over. Saint 33 shouted and charged back. Traceless Hades laughed. Since Brother Saint doesn't intend to hand over Lin Fei, we will do it ourselves. 100 immortal emperors worked together and activated the white bone god, sweeping through everything in their path. They were about to charge into the academy and bring Lin Fei out. That might not be the case. Saint 33's figure disappeared instantly. When he reappeared, he was standing on the formation. Great formation, rise. A mighty force rushed up from the Holy Heaven Academy and supported Saint 33. Immortal energy surged as he slapped towards the white bone god. The white bone god was crushed by the mighty immortal energy and was sent flying far away on the spot. What do you think now? With just a casual palm, he mobilized the immortal energy of the Holy Heaven Academy and forced the white bone god to retreat. Again, the second wave of force came. The majestic force turned into a divine pagoda and pressed down. 100 immortal emperors activated the white bone god again and faced the divine pagoda. The divine pagoda pressed down on the white bone god. Saint 33 punched through the air and landed on the 100 immortal emperors. The 100 immortal emperors vomited blood instantly. The onlookers sucked in a breath of cold air. The Holy Heaven Academy was indeed worthy of being one of the 4 great academies. The force they mobilized was able to resist the powerful attack of 100 immortal emperors. Not only that, they even injured someone. Brother Hades, do you still think it's necessary? Saint 33 didn't make another move. He stood on the formation, facing everyone like a true heavenly deity. The traceless Nether strode over with a serious look in his eyes. You've mobilized all of the Academy's power. Unless an immortal emperor appears, no one will be able to suppress this power. Not bad. Saint 33 said calmly, you guys can leave. With all of the power of the Holy Heavens Academy gathered together, the strength of the Saint 33 became countless times stronger. It wasn't something that ordinary people could resist. Just like what had been said, only an immortal emperor could make a move. Otherwise, it would be hard to break through. Think about it. This is a formation created by immortal Emperor Sheng Tian. Brother Sheng, you are very strong now, but it might not be the same next time. The only thing Traceless Nether did not expect was that the array formation was much more powerful than he had imagined. Even if Traceless Nether himself were to go all out, he wouldn't be able to gain any advantage. On the contrary, he would have wasted his efforts. In the end, there was no need for him to go all out. No one knew the background of the Holy Heaven Academy. There was no need for Traceless Nether to be the vanguard. His objective today was very simple. It would be best if he could scare the Holy Heaven Academy. There was no need for him to make a move. Secondly, he wanted to test the strength of the Holy Heaven Academy. From the looks of it, the strength of the Holy Heaven Academy was much stronger than he had imagined. If the Holy Heavens Academy was breached previously, it would have saved them a lot of trouble. But it seemed like it was impossible now. Let's go. No one had expected the aggressive Nether Palace to leave just like that. The 100 immortal emperors were all injured, and it seemed like they had suffered a great loss. They were 100 immortal emperors summoning the white bone god at the same time. Saint 33 sent the white bone god flying with a single punch. The Netherworld Palace had left. Everyone was too embarrassed to stay. Soon, most of the people had left. The cloud-like power of the formation shrouded the sky above the Holy Heaven Academy once again, making people unable to see the situation inside. PFFF, after they left, Saint 33 vomited a mouthful of blood. The power of the formation is too strong. My physical body can't take it anymore. Although the power of the Holy Heaven Academy's formation was strong, it needed a medium. Saint 33 could mobilize it at will, but he didn't control the entire formation. He only controlled a portion of it. This portion of power was enough to crush 100 immortal emperors and threaten the great elder of the Netherworld Palace. Lin Fei, the Netherworld Palace, returned without any success. I believe they won't give up just like that. They will definitely make a move on the eternal immortal emperor's treasure. You have to be careful. Saint 33 landed on the invincible peak. Lin Fei had been paying attention. He had wanted to make a move. With his demon god, he could fight 100 immortal emperors. But he stopped after hearing what Saint 33 said. Lin Fei had seen the power of the Holy Heaven Academy's formation. That wave of power was just too strong. Yes, Lin Fei nodded. The Holy Heaven Academy had the power of the formation, and it could mobilize power. Just like what Saint 33 said, only immortal emperors could break the power of the formation and suppress it with their true strength. Only then could they enter the Holy Heaven Academy. Come with me. Saint 33 blurred and walked into the void. A tunnel formed instantly. Meeting someone, Lin Fei was curious. He didn't know who he was going to meet. At the end of the tunnel, he appeared in a small world. There's a small world in the academy? Lin Fei was shocked. He knew that there was space in the academy, but he didn't know about this small world. One of my senior brothers lives here. The great elder's senior brother? Could he be an immortal emperor? The small world was filled with the singing of birds and the fragrance of flowers. It was as if he had come to another world. There was a lake in the middle of the fragrant world, and there was a wooden house by the lake. The small world was filled with peace and tranquility. Saint 33 brought Lin Fei to the edge of the small wooden house by the lake. Senior brother, Saint 33 said to the lake. This made Lin Fei curious again. There didn't seem to be anything in the lake. Junior brother. The lake rippled, and the water elemental energy condensed into a young man. He wore a green robe, and his eyes were filled with tranquility. Saint 33 said, Senior brother, sorry to disturb you. The green-robed young man waved his hand, and a wave of water elemental energy landed on Saint 33's body. The injuries that were left on him recovered instantly. You're injured again. You even used the power of the formation. Who in the world is here? Facing this senior brother, Saint 33 said, Senior brother, I've brought a person here today. He can inherit teachers' orthodoxy. Take a look. Lin Fei felt a gaze landing on him. Chapter 1130. You've decided? The azure-robed young man looked over and spoke in a calm tone, as if he was talking about something very simple. Saint 33's eyes were filled with determination. And, senior brother, I've decided. Master's orthodoxy must be inherited, and junior brother Lin Fei is the best I've ever seen. I believe that he can inherit the orthodoxy. Junior brother, believe in your own eyes. Lin Fei, on the other hand, was completely confused. Orthodoxy? What's going on? Did the first elder bring him here to inherit the orthodoxy of immortal Emperor Sheng Tian? Lin Fei had his doubts, but he didn't dare to ask them. The azure-robed young man formed from the water elemental energy was extremely powerful. He was vast like a black hole, and no one could see through him. Even the Nether Palace's great elder, Traceless Nether, was not a match for this azure-robed young man. This azure-robed young man could probably kill the Nether Palace's great elder in one move. Junior brother Lin Fei, he is the first disciple of our master, senior brother Xin Kuang. Back then he became a monarch and was severely injured. This space was created by him, and his strength is comparable to an immortal emperor. Saint 33's voice sounded in his ears. Senior brother Shen Kuang. Lin Fei's heart trembled. This space was actually created by the other party. His means were not simple, and his strength was comparable to an immortal emperor. Up until now, Lin Fei hadn't seen many immortal emperors. Sky Demon Monarch was one of them, followed by Demon Monarch Pajun. Their abilities were heaven-defying, and their shockwaves could even kill immortal emperors. Immortal Emperor Shen Kuang said, "Follow me." The other party waved his sleeve and brought Lin Fei away. Saint 33 was left outside the lake. Junior brother Lin Fei, you are the most heaven-defying genius in the history of the Academy. In the future, you will surely become an immortal emperor, or even a heaven-defying one. Apart from you, no one is more suitable than you for Master's orthodoxy. This is the dojo left behind by Master. Lin Fei was enveloped by a force as he passed through layers of space. In the blink of an eye, he arrived at a dusky space. Dojo. With a glance, Lin Fei noticed that the spacious dojo was completely empty, with only a large number of futons placed on the ground. After becoming an immortal emperor, can they all open their own Dao grounds? It was the first time that Lin Fei had seen such a large dojo. The sky above the dojo was filled with the aura of the Great Path. The sun and the moon intertwined, dazzling and dazzling. That's right. Any immortal emperor, devil emperor, who steps into the immortal emperor realm can establish a Dao field as long as they are acknowledged. Master is one of the existences who established a Dao field. Lin Fei and Sheng Kuang, immortal emperor, landed on the dojo. Sheng Kuang, immortal emperor, stretched out his hand and opened up a path in the dojo. Go. Whether you can obtain Master's orthodoxy is up to you. Don't let me down. Lin Fei could tell that this eldest senior brother really wanted him to obtain the orthodoxy. Without hesitation, Lin Fei walked into the passageway, and the passageway was immediately closed. It's been 10,000 years. I wonder when Master's teachings will be inherited. The young man in green sat down cross-legged and closed his eyes to rest. Sage Heaven Immortal Emperor's orthodoxy? Lin Fei walked into the passageway and was very curious about Sage Heaven Immortal Emperor's orthodoxy. This was his first time seeing it up close. At the end of the passageway, there was a huge skeleton sitting in the air. I can't see the end. Lin Fei released his divine intent. This skeleton was extremely huge, like a majestic mountain with no end in sight. He was shocked. Was the legendary immortal emperor's physique this big? This skeleton is mysterious. Lin Fei focused his gaze and saw that the skeleton was covered in immortal talismans. The talismans shined brightly and turned into giants that were practicing supreme arts. Sage Heaven Old Ancestor, is this powerful? After a brief look, Lin Fei took a deep breath. There were countless arts on the skeleton. Through his observation, he noticed that many of the talismans had lost their colors and the power of the arts were greatly reduced. There were two extremes. Lin Fei wasn't in a rush and continued to look at the skeleton. In the blink of an eye, 100 years passed, and he barely managed to see the skeleton from top to bottom. Arts and techniques continuously appeared in Lin Fei's mind and interweaved into a big net. Huff! Lin Fei let out a breath of turbid air. Would a good sage, Heaven Old Ancestor? The skeleton is covered in art runes. These arts should have been cultivated in the past. No wonder why he was so famous back then. Lin Fei was secretly shocked. In order to see these arts, he spent 100 years. Fortunately, time was accelerated in this space. 100 years was only a few days, so the benefits were unimaginable. This sage, Heaven Old Ancestor, has at least a few thousand arts. No one under the immortal king realm can stop him. Lin Fei solemnly said. He didn't have any thoughts about these few thousand arts. His figure flashed, and he rushed inside the skeleton. Outside, there were several thousand mystic abilities being displayed, non-stop. However, inside, the same immortal talismans were different emperor-level mystic abilities. They were exactly the same mystic abilities, but their grades were completely different. All of them are emperor-level arts. Lin Fei took a deep breath. Thousands of divine arts below the immortal emperor realm appeared in the inner region. Thousands of emperor-grade divine arts appeared. These emperor-level arts turned into giants that displayed the emperor-level profundities. Lin Fei was once again immersed in it. It was an immortal emperor-level divine ability and an emperor-level divine ability. Lin Fei was enlightened. After the emperor-level divine ability, no other divine ability appeared. What appeared next was a great Tao. This grand Tao had the power to reach the heavens. It covered the sky and covered the earth. Lin Fei stood in front of this grand Tao and felt his own insignificance. From complexity to simplicity, the grand Tao into one, returning to the natural state. This was the true profound art. Lin Fei suddenly understood why there were so many mystiques on the outside. Inside there were emperor-level mystiques, and then a complete great Tao. There are other grand Taos apart from this grand Tao. Lin Fei saw another Grand Tao. This Grand Tao was full of domineering aura. It turned into a mountain that suppressed the space for a long time. To become an immortal emperor-level expert, I must cultivate a Grand Tao. Lin Fei was deep in thought. However, he wasn't sure how to condense this Grand Tao. Immortal King-level arts and Emperor-level arts. How to evolve was also a mystery. Looks like my accumulation is still too little. Lin Fei sat in a lotus position and released his consciousness into the Grand Tao. An immortal emperor-level Grand Tao finally appeared in front of Lin Fei. It was a very mysterious feeling that made people unable to extricate themselves and want to study it. First Senior Brother, do you think Lin Fei can comprehend something? Saint 33 came in and stood behind First Senior Brother. Chapter 1131. Eldest Senior Brother, if it wasn't for those shameless and despicable people who ambushed you back then, you would have definitely become an immortal emperor with Eldest Senior Brother's strength. Saint 33's eyes were red as he recalled the tragic battle back then. Holy Heaven Academy was founded by old ancestor Shintan. After it was founded, he suppressed many experts, including some immortal emperors and demon emperors. They came out to stop Eldest Senior Brother from becoming an immortal emperor, which was why things ended up like this. This world was created by Eldest Senior Brother. Even though he was at the immortal emperor realm, he couldn't step out and was stuck here for the rest of his life. This is fate. Inside the Tao field, time continued to pass. This was a Tao field created by an immortal emperor. Countless experts came here to listen to his Tao. Even though the Tao field had lost its owner, the formations and restrictions left behind were still in operation and wouldn't disappear for millions of years. Inside the white bone giant, a black-robed man sat cross-legged. 1,000 years had passed. This black-robed man had been sitting inside the white bone giant for 1,000 years. The black-robed man was calm. The aura of the Grand Tao filled the air. God arts flew out and turned into black-robed men who performed the God arts to their fullest. If someone was here, they would definitely recognize that these God arts were all at the Grand Completion realm. Another river flew out with a mystical aura. It was the aura of fate, a monarch-level God art. The moment this river appeared, it hung behind Lin Fei. Another river of divinity flew out and hung behind him again. As soon as the two rivers appeared, they shattered the divine abilities one after another and completely disappeared. Following that, a large number of new divine abilities appeared. These God arts all came from the immortal talismans on the white bone giant's bones. At first, the God arts were rusty, but as they continued, they gradually became more perfect. To become an immortal emperor, I must have a Tao that belongs to me. 1,500 years later, Lin Fei suddenly opened his eyes. Light flashed as his long hair fluttered in the wind. In these 1,500 years, Lin Fei constantly studied the aura of the Grand Tao. Each Grand Tao was the standard of an immortal emperor. Lin Fei being able to study the Grand Tao left behind by these immortal emperors in this situation was a great fortune. Regardless of whether it was the Devil Emperor or the Immortal Emperor, once they fell, their great Tao would completely disappear, and it would be very difficult to preserve it. To be able to preserve the Grand Tao, the heavenly ancestor was truly powerful. The Taos of the predecessors are not my Taos. My Tao should be the most powerful Tao. A large number of divine abilities shattered the vacuum and completely disappeared. The speed became faster and faster. Those divine abilities all shattered and no longer repeated themselves. Lin Fei had completely crushed the sacred art. Apart from the emperor-level sacred art, all the other sacred arts were crushed. Lin Fei wanted to walk the omnipotent Tao and become the strongest man in the world. Boom, boom, boom. The great paths that were originally in the starry sky all flew over. There were a total of 5 great paths. They were like 5 great dragons that soared through the sky. The aura of the great path crushed down. Not good. The great Tao that Master left behind is going to suppress junior brother Lin Fei. Immortal Emperor Sheng Kuang, who had been paying close attention, couldn't help but change his expression as his figure completely disappeared. The 5 great paths had been preserved for a long time, so their power was still terrifying. The suppression on the spot was like a 10,000 mountains. Lin Fei looked up and saw the 5 great paths coming for the kill. Their enormous aura crushed down, causing his cultivated body to bleed profusely. He couldn't withstand it and was covered in cracks. Damn it! Why are these great paths trying to kill me? Lin Fei activated his divine body and his expression changed. These 5 great paths were like 5 heavenly deities. Just their aura alone was going to crush his body and kill him under this attack. Divine Palace Throne. With a loud shout, a lifelike throne flew out, covered in runes of god power, and the radiance of the sun and moon intersected with each other. It slammed into the 5 great Daos, and the 5 great Daos transformed into 5 treasures that slammed into the throne. The divine court throne was condensed with the divine power of 50 billion dragons, but it was still on the verge of collapse. One of the great paths turned into a long spear. The spear flashed and stopped Lin Fei. Lin Fei broke out in a cold sweat. This great path was too terrifying. Even his god throne couldn't block it. Lin Fei knew very well that if this spear landed on him, he would be seriously injured even if he didn't die. Moreover, the other 4 great paths were eyeing him like tigers watching their prey. They could definitely kill him. What's going on? Why are these great paths trying to kill me? Lin Fei calmed himself down and gritted his teeth. He activated his immortal power and a divine spear flew out. It drew a beam of light and clashed with the spear formed by the great paths. This was the soul destroyer divine spear that he stole from the Sky Demon Emperor's lair. It almost became an emperor's divine weapon. Even though it failed at the last moment, it was still a high-level great path immortal weapon. Lin Fei stabbed out with his spear. The vortex rumbled and went to meet the other's huge vortex. The power of the great paths was still unfathomable. The long spear flicked and used a spear technique. The soul destroyer divine spear was sent flying and crashed into the immortal talismans nearby. God knew how many of them were destroyed. Boom, 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 the long spear slashed down again. The other 4 great paths, one transformed into a long blade, another into a mountain, a purple gourd, and a mirror. The 5 great paths attacked at the same time and destroyed countless immortal talismans. Bang, 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 bang. Lin Fei used all his strength, but still exploded on the spot. After recovering, his face was pale. The 5 great paths were too terrifying. One attack had seriously injured him. Is this the ultimate Tao that I'm pursuing? Lin Fei was bathed in blood. His body exploded again and again. After a flash of inspiration, he finally understood something. Why did the 5 great paths want to kill him? This must be it. My thoughts were sensed by the great paths. They were left behind by the Celestial Emperor, so they naturally have their pride. They naturally don't want to see an ultimate Tao above them. That's why they attacked and wanted to kill me. The 5 great paths attacked again. Lin Fei's divine power and immortal power were severely depleted. His heart was filled with bitterness. He wanted to propose an ultimate Tao, but these great paths wanted to kill him, not allowing him to exist. Run! The 5 great paths attacked, and a young man in a green robe appeared in front of Lin Fei. It was the eldest senior brother, Sheng Kuang, Celestial Emperor. A dark green great path rushed out and turned into a wall of water, blocking in front of Lin Fei. The aura of the great path filled the air. It was a great path cultivated by Sheng Kuang, Celestial Emperor. Sheng Kuang had lived for a long time, but he had never seen a great path actively kill a junior. Right now, he could only save him. As for other things, they could wait until he was safe. Lin Fei wanted to leave. The divine power of the 5 great paths was not something he could resist. No matter which great path it was more than enough to kill him. The throne of the divine court and the soul-destroying divine spear could not stop the attack of the other party's great path. If another wave came, he would definitely die. Lin Fei was not willing to give up. If he left today, the means left behind by the great path would definitely affect him. Boom, boom, boom. Chapter 1132. Motherf ****. Are they trying to kill me completely? This scene happened way too quickly. Even when immortal Emperor Sheng Kuang struck out with his great Tao, he still could not stop the 5 great Taos from attacking him. They rushed into Lin Fei's body and destroyed every single part of his flesh. Lin Fei's body exploded. This was not good. His strong body was crushed by the 5 great Taos, causing him to go completely crazy. These great Taos did not allow the appearance of the strongest great Tao and wanted to kill Lin Fei completely. I can't die. I want to become an immortal emperor. I want to be the strongest immortal emperor. 5 great Taos can forget about killing me. Lin Fei reared his head and roared into the sky. Once again he reformed his body, and his long hair fluttered in the wind. Immortal Emperor Sheng Kuang was so shocked that he could not speak. What had Lin Fei done to cause the 5 great Taos to attack him together? Even he could not stop it. Boom! Boom! No, if this continues, junior brother Lin Fei will be killed by the great Taos. There's no chance of survival. Indeed, immortal Emperor Sheng Kuang did not understand what was going on. However, he did not want to watch the other party die before his eyes. Since the great Taos were not allowed to exist, immortal Emperor Sheng Kuang had to stop them. Junior brother Lin Fei, I'm coming to help you. A great Tao rushed into Lin Fei's body, blocking 2 of the great Taos. It was extremely difficult to resist. Hurry up and stop the great Taos. This was the only thing that immortal Emperor Sheng Kuang could do. If he did not stop it now, he would definitely die later. The 3 great Taos continued to crush him. In just a short period of time, Lin Fei had already used up a lot of his immortal energy after reforming his body multiple times. I'll give it my all. Whether it succeeds or not, I'll suppress these great Taos. At this time, Lin Fei was definitely going to give it his all. If he did not, he would die completely. This was not something that he could hesitate about. The heaven and earth furnace flew out. This was a godly skill from back then, the godly fire that could refine everything in the world. A large amount of godly fire poured down and turned this place into a battlefield. You great Taos, don't you want to kill me? At most, I'll fight to the end. The divine flame turned into flame giants one after another. In the blink of an eye, there were over 1 million of them. These giants looked down on the world, carrying divine might as they slaughtered their way towards the 3 great paths in a grandiose manner. Lin Fei exerted all his strength, and his face paled. This was the first time he had risked his life to activate the heaven and earth furnace. 1 million flame giants were charging towards the 3 Taos in a grandiose manner. The battle was extremely intense as large swathes of flame giants were killed. Once again, the heaven and earth smelt was restored. For the time being, they were holding back their footsteps. Lin Fei heaved a sigh of relief. Junior brother, be careful. Immortal Emperor Sheng Kuang couldn't stop the 2 grand Taos. One of them turned into a rainbow and turned into an ancient figure wearing a Taoist robe. He pressed his hand down and suppressed the 2 grand Taos. Divine flame, block it. A great expanse of divine flames rushed up, blocking in front of Lin Fei. In front of the divine might of the great Tao, they continuously crumbled, pressing towards Lin Fei's true body. Blood once again flowed from his body, and it was covered in cracks as if it would shatter at any moment. I can't kill anyone. Lin Fei channeled the power of the divine flame with all his might, roaring continuously. Not only did he want to suppress these grand Taos, he also wanted to cultivate the strongest grand Tao, one that was above all the other grand Taos. The heaven and earth smelt, seemed to have sensed something. Divine light shone down, restricting the power of the 5 grand Taos, causing their auras to weaken. Ha ha ha, this is great. Even the heaven and earth smelt is helping me. The moment Lin Fei saw this, he knew that this was a godly skill helping him, gathering all the power to deal with the 5 grand Taos. Junior brother Lin Fei, just what did you cultivate to be able to unleash such power and suppress the power of the 5 grand Taos? This is unbelievable. Immortal Emperor Sheng Kuang, who had cultivated a grand Tao, was shocked. Even though he had become an immortal emperor, his fighting strength wasn't strong enough. He had lost the opportunity to advance to the next level and had only cultivated a single grand Tao. Although these 5 grand Taos were left behind by his master, their auras were still strong and could kill anyone below the immortal emperor realm. Even immortal Emperor Sheng Kuang couldn't withstand this power. But now immortal Emperor Sheng Kuang could clearly feel the auras of the 5 grand Taos changing. Soon he frowned. His grand Tao was ejected and returned to his body. My grand Tao has been expelled. Immortal Emperor Sheng Kuang couldn't go any further. Unbelievable, truly unbelievable. In Lin Fei's body, the heaven and earth smelt, isolated everything. Divine light shone brightly, suppressing the 5 grand Taos. The flame giant had the upper hand. No matter how hard it struggled, the 5 grand Taos couldn't escape. The divine flame wrapped around the 5 grand Taos like a net. It was a thrilling scene. If it wasn't for Lin Fei's various treasures and abilities, the 5 grand Taos would have killed him on the spot. It was rare to be able to survive the attack of 5 grand Taos. There was definitely no second one. Your 5 grand Taos are just left behind by the Saint Heaven Immortal Emperor. What's there to be proud of? You want to kill me? I'll kill them first. It seemed like the 5 grand Taos were suppressed, but Lin Fei was still worried about when they would come out. He would kill the grand Taos first to avoid being on tenterhooks. If it happened again, it was still a big question whether he could survive. Bang, bang, bang. Under the suppression of the 5 grand Taos, they exploded one after another, turning into a grand Tao light that didn't dissipate. This is the grand Tao. After Lin Fei killed the 5 grand Taos, he was finally so tired that he couldn't move. The divine light dimmed. In order to kill the 5 grand Taos, he had consumed a lot of energy. In the light of the grand Tao, there were specks of starlight. Lin Fei walked in. He didn't know why, but he felt that the starlight was extraordinary. After all, it was left behind after the grand Tao was killed. Master's grand Tao has been killed? Immortal Emperor Sheng Kuang couldn't sense the aura of the 5 grand Taos. He couldn't imagine why it would be like this. How could these 5 grand Taos be killed? He tried to send a voice transmission to Lin Fei, but for some reason, the other party didn't respond. What happened? If junior brother Sheng 33 knows, he will definitely come to settle the score with me. Immortal Emperor Sheng Kuang could tell that his junior brother thought highly of Lin Fei. In private, he didn't want anything to happen. The most important thing was that the 5 grand Taos of his master had disappeared. That was the key. Where did the 5 grand Taos go? This is... All of a sudden, Lin Fei, who was in a daze, burst out with a brilliant light. Starlight filled the sky and occupied the top of his head. Immortal palaces appeared one after another, looking down on the world with an invincible, domineering aura. Immortal Emperor Sheng Kuang's blood and qi surged. His eyes widened as he took a few steps back, revealing a shocked expression. This aura reminded him of something. Back then, when he was surrounded, there was a strong aura, but it was far inferior to this aura. This is the aura of a supreme grand Tao. Why does he have it? Could it be that he wants to cultivate a supreme grand Tao before he is killed by the 5 grand Taos? Chapter 1133. Ultimate Aura? Sheng Kuang Immortal Emperor looked over. Lin Fei was bathed in the holy light, and his powerful aura swept across the world. Even he himself had a feeling of looking up to this aura. Yes, it must be like this. Shen Kuang, Immortal Emperor, finally understood what was going on. Junior brother Lin Fei was planning to cultivate an ultimate great Tao. The 5 great Tao left by Master did not allow this great Tao to appear, so he attacked. Even he could not stop it. Junior brother Lin Fei wants to cultivate the ultimate great Tao, which is not allowed by other great Tao. No great Tao can be above other great Tao. Shen Kuang, Immortal Emperor, saw clearly that this aura came and left quickly. It was like a flash in the pan, but in fact, there were already signs, and all that was left was time. Amazing, really amazing. Shen Kuang, Immortal Emperor, could not help but admire him. Before reaching the Immortal Emperor realm, he had some understanding of the great Tao and had his own ideas. Back then, Shen Kuang, Immortal Emperor himself, in order to find his own great Tao, hesitated for a long time on this last step. I don't know what great Tao junior brother Lin Fei has comprehended to produce such an earth-shattering effect. If this was not the dojo, this aura would definitely be noticed by others, and it would lead to the pursuit of immortal emperors and demon emperors. Once this great Tao was perfected, it would become the strongest great Tao, suppressing all great Tao in the world, becoming the true king of the great Tao, above all great Tao, covering the sky with one hand, and suppressing all directions. This state did not last long, and then it dissipated. The aura of a sovereign descending on the world disappeared, and Lin Fei woke up, restored, and regained control of his physical body. At this time his physical body was damaged, and his face was pale, but in this face there was a peerless aura of heaven, which was a domineering aura. Even Shen Kuang, Immortal Emperor, could not help but be shocked by this aura. Junior brother Lin Fei would definitely be an invincible and powerful existence in the future. Congratulations, junior brother Lin Fei, for your great improvement in strength. Needless to say, Shen Kuang, Immortal Emperor, knew that there must be a connection between the disappearance of the 5 great Tao and the emergence of another supreme great Tao. In the past, their master left behind 5 grand Taos. Even now, their power was not as great as before. A grand Tao was still a grand Tao after all. After so many years, they wanted to find someone who had a good grasp of the Tao, someone who could grasp all 5 of their master's grand Taos. Even if that person only grasped one Tao, they would still become an immortal emperor in the future. 5 grand Taos, in other words, could create 5 immortal emperors. If the college had 5 immortal emperors, it would definitely be able to establish itself in the great metropolis world. Shen Kuang, Immortal Emperor, said this from the bottom of his heart. His eyes were very gentle, and he really regarded Lin Fei as his junior brother, the master's junior brother. Senior brother Shen, we haven't even started yet. Lin Fei smiled. If I want to cultivate to the great Tao, I'm afraid it'll take a very, very long time. Immortal Emperor Shen Kuang said, Junior brother, I wonder what kind of great Tao you have comprehended. Let me broaden my horizons. Lin Fei knew that Shen Kuang, Immortal Emperor, had intervened to stop the great Tao. Otherwise, he would not have had the time to stop the great Tao. He had to be grateful for his good intentions. In addition, Lin Fei really wanted to communicate with someone and find his own Tao from the 5 great Tao. I found a Tao from old ancestor, sacred heavens, great Tao. Lin Fei said, Senior brother, please look. Lin Fei waved his palm. Celestial force and God force fused together to form a long sword. This long sword was vast and mighty, like a sovereign looking down on the world. With a single slash, 1,000,000 miles of sword light swept out, causing the space around to tremble and collapse. Great sword technique! Shen Kuang, Immortal Emperor, was entranced. From this sword, he could see that this sword technique contained a Tao intent that surpassed everyone else. Even though it was not too obvious now, this crushing pressure was enough to make it difficult for others to resist. This Tao, I call it the true self, great Tao. Lin Fei continued. This sword is condensed with supreme divine and immortal powers, and is called the true self, world-destroying sword. It helps me eliminate all enemies. Lin Fei had never spoken with such confidence. Swish, swish, swish. Another 3 slashes were unleashed. Such terrifying power. Even Sheng Kuang, Immortal Emperor, couldn't help but sigh in his heart. This great Tao had not even begun, and it was only a seed, but it was already very amazing. The true self, great Tao, one, is the strongest existence. In this world, no one can surpass oneself except oneself. Using oneself as the great Tao, transcending the ordinary, and achieving the true self, great Tao. Junior brother Lin Fei said it well. Lin Fei was very grateful. The information from the divine light allowed him to understand that the most powerful being in the universe was none other than himself. He was the most powerful and invincible existence. Since he was the strongest, why not walk on his own great Tao? Thus, the great Tao of true self became a seed that was planted in Lin Fei's heart. Given time, this great Tao would continue to grow until it truly became the great Tao of true self that stood above all other worlds. I learned the true self, great Tao, so my body must be the strongest. With a move of his mind, Lin Fei's physical body collapsed again. The aura of the true self swept through his entire body. His physical body was reconstructed, then exploded and reconstructed again. This happened thousands of times, and he was constantly bathed in the bloody light. Junior brother Lin Fei, you actually want to keep shattering your physical body to reverse the previous physical cultivation method and cultivate a more powerful physical body. Sheng Kuang, Immortal Emperor, admired junior brother Lin Fei's decisiveness. Ordinary people would never let themselves suffer before they were familiar with it, especially when reversing the physical body cultivation method and cultivating a more powerful cultivation method. In this case, Sheng Kuang, Immortal Emperor, was helpless and could only guard by the side. As the physical body collapsed, the physical body cultivation method collapsed and integrated into the flesh and blood. Every part of the flesh and blood shone brightly, constantly condensing, calling the wind and summoning the rain, and constantly becoming stronger. What a terrifying, true self, great Tao. It's just a seed, but it can reverse the physical body and make it stronger. I'm afraid that even a half-step Immortal Emperor or a half-step Demon Emperor may not be able to break this physical body. Junior brother Lin Fei has really reached the sky in one step and is invincible. The eternal Immortal Emperor will probably suppress all the geniuses. Sheng Kuang, Immortal Emperor, was very pleased. He couldn't do it himself, but he saw that Lin Fei had found his own path with the help of his master's 5 great Tao. This was the strongest, even if he had lost 5 great Tao. Sheng Kuang, Immortal Emperor, could imagine that in the future, Lin Fei would at least be a heaven-defying Immortal Emperor and become a real giant in the universe. I have finally cultivated the true self-body. This physical body cultivation method is more heaven-defying than I imagined. The great Tao is perfect. Now my physical body can't be broken by a half-step Immortal Emperor or a half-step Demon Emperor, right? Chapter 1134. On this day, it was a cloudless day. The sky above the Elysium Academy was bright and colorful. Everyone in the great metropolis world knew about this. Everyone saw the scene. Many ancient existences cast their divine senses towards the sky above the Elysium Academy and communicated with each other. The inheritance of the eternal Celestial Emperor is finally going to reveal itself. The eternal Celestial Emperor was a powerful existence among the Celestial Emperors. The treasures he left behind must be incredible. Whoever obtains the treasures will definitely soar to the sky. It's a pity that there's a limit to the number of people who can obtain it. However, this time the inheritance will open and experts from all over the world will come. We will be able to watch a fierce battle between 2 giants. The ancient existences discussed. The colorful light above the Elysium Academy did not dissipate for a long time. It broke through countless voids and pointed to a certain place. The ancient existence's divine senses were extremely powerful, and some of them were powerful immortal emperors. They followed the direction of the colorful light and thought about it. Let's go. Let's try our luck. After thinking about it, the ancient existences left and headed towards the direction. Is it finally going to open? On the invincible peak, Lin Fei stood with his hands behind his back and looked at the colorful light. The colorful light came from where Lin Fei was and gathered in the sky, pointing to a place. Grand Elder, Saint 33 appeared on the invincible peak and stood beside Lin Fei. Did you forget what I said? From today onwards, you can call me Senior Brother. Saint 33 laughed. Although you don't have Master's great Tao, you are still Master's disciple. You are my Saint 33's junior brother. Quite some time had passed since Saint Heaven Immortal Emperor's dojo. During this time, Lin Fei did not leave and continued to study the great Tao of True Self. The great Tao of True Self was currently a seed. As he continued to study it, Lin Fei gained a lot. His strength increased rapidly, especially his understanding of the great Tao of True Self. Lin Fei smiled. Senior Brother, Saint 33 said, the inheritance of the eternal celestial emperor has opened, and experts from all over the world will be tempted. The location pointed out by the great emperor's key will likely lead many people there to try their luck, including some ancient existences. This trip will be more difficult than expected. You must be mentally prepared. Senior Brother, do you know where it is? Lin Fei frowned. Is it because this position is very dangerous? Now that Junior Brother's strength has grown, Junior Brother is not afraid of ordinary half-step immortal emperors and half-step devil emperors. I must obtain the treasures left behind by the eternal immortal emperor. After learning the great Tao of True Self, Lin Fei was full of confidence about the inheritance of the eternal immortal emperor. So far he was in the dark and others were in the dark. No one knew that his strength had increased again. Saint 33 looked in the direction the multicolored light was pointing. In the myriad of worlds, there are many danger zones and forbidden areas, all of which are fraught with danger. Even immortal emperors would be trapped inside for tens of thousands of years. The eternal immortal emperor was an overlord in the past, and even our Institute's Saint Heaven Immortal Emperor admitted that he was inferior to the eternal immortal emperor. Now that the legacy has appeared, there will be a fierce battle. Based on the direction of the multicolored light, the eternal immortal emperor's legacy should be in the Nirvana world. The Nirvana world. Lin Fei frowned. He had never heard of such a place. The Nirvana world used to be a grand world among the myriad heavens. That year, a powerful devil emperor appeared in the Nirvana world. His name was the Nirvana Devil Emperor, and he was extremely ambitious. He allied with a few other devil emperors in an attempt to conquer the myriad heavens and suppress the various experts. In the end, they were encircled and killed by the various immortal emperors in the Nirvana world. The Nirvana world was also destroyed in that battle, causing countless experts to die. The Nirvana Devil Emperor's unwillingness to die turned the Nirvana world into a land of death. When Saint 33 mentioned this, he sighed. Senior Brother, are you sure that the eternal celestial emperor placed the inheritance in the Nirvana world? Lin Fei frowned slightly. Most likely. At the immortal emperor level, one has remarkable abilities that we cannot speculate about. The Nirvana world is very likely, Saint 33 said. Saint 33 said, on this trip, I will create an incarnation to accompany you. This incarnation will have 70% of my battle prowess. When do we leave? If there's nothing else, let's go now. The Nirvana world is still a long way away. The Grand Emperor Qi pointed in the direction of the multicolored light. First, it shocked the great metropolis heaven, and then all the other worlds. Some of the worlds began to glow with multicolored light that seemed unstoppable. The news of the eternal celestial emperor's inheritance spread like wildfire. All the worlds were shocked. The eternal celestial emperor's inheritance had finally appeared. Everyone's eyes were all focused on this. Saint 33 sent an avatar with 70% of his power from the Holy Heaven Institute. At the same time, 30 elders, including Lin Fei, headed in the direction of the multicolored light. The other factions in the great metropolis heaven also began to send their experts. They could not afford to miss out on such a golden opportunity. Reporting: Saint 33 has led 30 elders and Lin Fei to the inheritance. In a gloomy palace, someone came to report. You're finally willing to go out. I thought you were going to hide in there forever. Someone in the main seat snorted coldly. It was the Grand Elder of the Nether Palace, Traceless Hades. Last time, Traceless Nether had left with a ferocious aura, only to return in a sorry state. He hated Lin Fei to the bone, as well as the Holy Heaven Academy behind him. Back then, he had been wary of the Holy Heaven Academy. Back then, the Holy Heaven Immortal Emperor had set up a formation, and unless an Immortal Emperor made a move, it would be extremely difficult to break it. Traceless Hades had not made a move since then. The price to break the Holy Heaven Institute's formation was too high, unless he mobilized the true experts of the Nether Palace. Traceless Hades sent his men away, then left the palace and appeared in a different space. Chilly winds swept through the space. Uncle Master Yu, Uncle Master Ming. Traceless Nether stood in front of a cave abode with a respectful expression. You really want us to make a move? A gloomy voice came from the cave abode, like the voice of the underworld. Traceless Hades' eyes flashed with pain, and he nodded vigorously. Uncle Masters, Lin Fei's matter is very important, so please act. I have made my decision. The cave abode was silent for a long time. Traceless, we promised to do something for you back then. From now on, we have nothing to do with Lin Fei. Chapter 1135. In a world of boundless ocean. Towering palaces towered above the boundless ocean. Bai Buodong, do you really want to go? An old, dignified voice spoke from the mouth of an old man. He had an ancient and powerful aura flowing around him. Not too far away from the old man was a young man with a proud expression on his face. Waves of aura pulsed out from him, and a boundless ocean whirled, churned behind him. If Lin Fei was here, he would definitely recognize that this person was precisely Hai Buodong from back then. I have to go. I'm one of the eternal immortal emperor's in-name disciples. Now that my strength has advanced by leaps and bounds, I must go to the eternal immortal emperor's inheritance. Furthermore, I must defeat Lin Fei of the great metropolis world and slay my inner demons. That way, I can become an immortal emperor in the future. Bai Buodong had been defeated in that battle, utterly defeated. After returning, Bai Buodong had gone to the ancient hidden realm, where he had experienced life and death, and his strength had advanced by leaps and bounds. The eternal immortal realm will be in the Nirvana world. It will become the most lively place in the myriad heavens, and also a place of life and death battles. The geniuses of the younger generation will compete there. It will be your chance to make a name for yourself. Every expert of the Sea God clan will rise to prominence in the myriad heavens, and you, Bai Buodong, will rise as well. I will definitely rise. Bai Buodong's gaze seemed to pierce through the great world. I lost that battle, Lin Fei. I don't know if you're ready, but with my current strength, as long as you don't improve, I can suppress you. Rumble, rumble. In a hidden realm, an enormous creature, brimming with murderous intent, was pressed to the ground by a giant palm. Its enormous body crashed to the ground, unable to get up. Too weak, a young man walked out of the void. This was a powerful immortal beast, at least as strong as an immortal emperor, but it had been killed with a single palm strike. More powerful immortal beasts emerged from the hidden realm, but they couldn't do anything to the young man. All of them were slain. Is it open? All of a sudden, the young man stopped in his tracks and punched out with his palm, causing heaven and earth to shake violently. He looked off into the distance, where the Grand Emperor Key was located. Eternal Immortal Emperor, so you left your legacy in the Nirvanic world. What a surprise! No one would have thought that the Nirvanic world would become your legacy after the death of the Devil Emperor. The young man walked out with large steps, leaving the secret realm. He appeared in the starry sky, walking towards the world of Nirvana. The secret realm rumbled and collapsed, and it completely vanished. The Eternal Immortal Emperor's legacy appeared. Everyone in the universe was alarmed. Many powerful existences began to send their experts, preparing to intervene in this matter. Back in the day, the Eternal Immortal Emperor had cultivated the Eternal Great Tao and had mastered time. He had been one of the most powerful immortal emperors, and no one had been able to kill him. The Eternal Great Tao of Time controlled time, and could speed it up or slow it down. In that regard, the Eternal Immortal Emperor was truly almighty. Back in the day, both the Immortal Emperors and the Devil Emperors had respected the Eternal Immortal Emperor. None of the Immortal Emperors or the Devil Emperors had dared to make a move if they weren't sure they could kill him. That was why the Eternal Immortal Emperor was so famous. Now that the Eternal Immortal Emperor's legacy had appeared, everyone took notice. There were even rumors that the Eternal Immortal Emperor had left behind something to become a god. A god, an omnipotent god, a god that didn't exist in this world. Who didn't want to become a god? No one wanted to miss out on something that could help them become a god. The Nirvana world, a place that few people knew about, suddenly became a focus of attention. Saint 33 and the others followed the light. The light from the Grand Emperor Key stretched across the starry sky, even passing through some danger zones and secret realms. The group of people were all powerful, with the weakest of them at the Immortal Emperor level. They didn't encounter any danger along the way and were very safe. The roving bandits in the starry sky ran into them and immediately left without saying a word. Saint 33 and the others were very relaxed and didn't feel any pressure for the time being. Be careful, everyone. It won't be long before we run into people from the heavenly planes. Saint 33 controlled an upper-grade immortal treasure. With this high-tier immortal artifact, they were able to travel quite quickly. In fact, it was much more advantageous than traveling on their own. The elders nodded. The Eternal Immortal Emperor's legacy had opened, and the Divine Academy was still under a lot of pressure. After all, the Grand Emperor Key was still in their hands, especially with Lin Fei. Lin Fei's strength had grown, and besides Worski's spot, the rest were in Lin Fei's hands. Lin Fei would be the one to decide how to distribute the spots. It could be said that Saint 33 would not say a word about the distribution of spots. In Saint 33's eyes, Lin Fei was the most accomplished person in the Divine Academy and might even surpass eldest senior Brother Xinquang in the future. Saint 33 would not say anything about the spots for the Grand Emperor Key and would not interfere. Saint 33's words were true. As the multicolored light traveled deeper and deeper, passing through one world after another, people from the heavenly planes began to attack them. Powerful bands of roving bandits caught their attention. Saint 33 and the others were attacked more than a dozen times along the way. They were all very strong, and it took them a lot of time to get rid of them. As a result, they had to be very careful. It seems that the Eternal Immortal Emperor's legacy will be in the Nirvana realm. Far off in the distance, there was an aura of nirvanic exuberance that made one feel uneasy. The world was too silent. Lin Fei looked over and saw that it was a world shrouded in black fog. Multicolored light pierced through the black fog and into the world. What a strong aura of nirvanic exuberance. I feel like I'm going to die with it. Powerful auras lingered outside the Nirvana realm, and the aura of nirvanic exuberance enveloped it. It's been 1,000,000 years, and the Nirvana realm is the same as it was before. The aura of the great Tao of nirvanic exuberance still shrouds it, and it doesn't seem to have weakened in the slightest. If the Nirvanic demon emperor hadn't been so ambitious, he would have been a first-rate expert among all the demon emperors. Lin Fei had seen the 5 great Daos, as well as eldest senior brother Xinguang's. Compared to the great Tao of Nirvanic exuberance, there was simply too much of a difference. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Numerous gazes fell upon Saint 33 and his party. Chapter 1136. Outside the Nirvana realm, a large number of factions had gathered. They hadn't entered the Nirvana realm yet. After the group from the Holy Heaven Academy appeared, they received the attention of everyone, especially Lin Fei. It was impossible for them not to pay attention to him. Back then, many forces had heard of Lin Fei's situation. In the great metropolis heaven, he challenged some of the geniuses from all over the universe and defeated them one by one. This was no secret, and everyone knew about it. Now that the people from the Elysian Academy had arrived, everyone was paying attention to Lin Fei. There was a rumor that, aside from the spots given out by the academies, the rest of the spots for the great emperor's keys belonged to Lin Fei. Is he Lin Fei? He's not that strong. He's only an immortal king. At most, he's a human king. There are so few geniuses in the great metropolis realm. It's disappointing that an immortal king would be able to show off. Since he's here, we have to have a share of the remaining spots. In the eternal immortal emperor's land of inheritance, multicolored light pierced through the Nirvana realm. Even the Nirvana great Tao created after the demon emperor's death could do nothing against the eternal immortal emperor's immortal might. Those who hadn't been able to get a spot were instantly tempted by the Elysian Academy's group. If they could get a spot, they would be able to benefit from the eternal immortal emperor's power in the land of inheritance. They would be able to make a name for themselves in the future. Lin Fei was an immortal king. What right did he have to hold onto the remaining spots? Snatch it. They had to. That was what everyone was thinking. Brother Wuhan, is that Lin Fei? In one of the locations of the Nirvana world, there was a faction that occupied a portion of the world. An arrogant middle-aged man said to a person not far away from him, "Brother Tianzi, you have a good eye. You recognized Lin Fei at a glance. Among that group of people, the youngest one, dressed in black, is Lin Fei. He caused an uproar in the great metropolis realm and made a name for himself." Traceless of the Nether smiled, a cold light flashing in his eyes. The middle-aged man, named Tianzi, had a look of disapproval on his face. "Humph, he's just an immortal king. He's just putting on a show in your great metropolis realm. If he were in our great world, any genius immortal king would be able to crush him as easily as turning over a hand. It was more like courting death." Traceless, Nether coldly laughed in his heart. Even the immortal emperor of their netherworld palace had died in his hands. Genius immortal king? Wasn't he still courting death? So what? Of course, Traceless Nether would not say this. In the great metropolis heaven, the Nether Palace had the right to speak. Outside of the Nirvana world, the Nether Palace was really nothing. What's more, the Tianzi immortal emperor in front of him had a much bigger background than him. Even 10 Nether Palaces wouldn't be a match for him. Even Traceless Nether had to be careful when speaking to him, lest he offend the Tianzi immortal emperor. "Brother, Tianzi's words make sense," Traceless Nether said with a smile. The Tianzi immortal emperor was very satisfied with Traceless Nether's words. He said indifferently, "I heard that this Lin Fei still has a Grand Emperor's key with him. Is that true?" Traceless Nether said hesitantly, "I really can't say for sure. Everything is just a rumor. As for the specifics, you really have to ask Lin Fei himself." "Humph, that's not right." The Tianzi immortal emperor revealed a greedy look. "It's fine if the Grand Emperor's key slots are divided. However, the ones that haven't been distributed can't be wasted. They have to be used." How could Traceless Nether not understand what he meant? He didn't want to become a knife in someone else's hands. Under the condition that he didn't offend the Tianzi immortal emperor, he could still instigate him a little. It couldn't be better to create an enemy for Lin Fei. I'm afraid that Brother Tianzi will be disappointed. Traceless Nether shook his head. The Tianzi Immortal Emperor was naturally dissatisfied. Is this Lin Fei really not going to hand over the Grand Emperor's key? This Lin Fei is very stubborn. It won't be easy to get a slot from him. That kid has a strong killing intent. He kills people at the slightest provocation. Traceless Nether's words were immediately interrupted by the Tianzi Immortal Emperor's cold snort. Kill people? Back then, I also walked out of a pile of bones and eventually became an immortal emperor. What does this Lin Fei count for? He's probably nothing. Facing the menacing gazes, Saint 33 warned his junior brother Lin Fei through voice transmission with a stern expression. Junior brother, you have to be careful. These people are all eyeing us covetously. You must hold back and not make a move. Lin Fei knew what these people were aiming for. Senior brother, I'm very good at controlling my emotions. I'll only make a move if they act recklessly and provoke us. Elder Saint, you're here. Long time no see, Brother Saint. The first to greet them were those who had a partnership with the Institute. In other words, they were people who had received a slot from the Institute and were backed by powerful factions in the myriad heavens. These factions all had a partnership with the Institute, so they had to show their strength in order to prevent others from eyeing the Institute slots. Saint 33 chose a place to rest for the time being and greeted each of them in a very intimate manner. Lin Fei was the youngest and the youngest of the group of elders and was very eye-catching. The legacy zone of the Eternal Immortal Emperor really is full of experts. If I didn't have the initial great Tao of True Self, I wouldn't be able to find any opportunities here. Lin Fei's eyes swept over the experts, and his heart filled with shock. Many of the factions had sent out experts who had concealed their auras, but their blood and qi roiled like clouds. Lin Fei had no doubt that if they used their blood and qi, they would be able to crush everyone else. These experts had powerful blood and qi, and many of them were clones or incarnations. One could only imagine how powerful their true selves were. Look, that's Immortal Emperor Sea Divinity from the Sea Divinity world. I can't believe he's here. Rolling waves filled the sky, and it was as if they were standing on the surface of a vast ocean, with countless sea beasts galloping together. Someone cried out, not daring to look. This was the great Tao of the sea. A powerful immortal emperor had appeared. The appearance of Immortal Emperor Sea Divinity caused everyone's hearts to clench. How many immortal emperors would there be before the Eternal Immortal Emperor's legacy zone stopped? In the south, there was a wave of decadent music. Fairies danced, and the sound of stringed instruments lingered in the ears. Many immortal palaces gathered in the sky and arrived. Isn't that the Love Emperor? Someone cried out. The Love Emperor had a powerful background and had cultivated the great Tao of emotion. He had used his great Tao to defeat more than 10 immortal emperors and become famous throughout the myriad heavens. If the Love Emperor is here, then the Flower Emperor must be here as well. Someone cried out.